Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're seeing North American stock futures back in positive territory this morning and continuing their move higher after the latest weekly jobless claims numbers out in the U.S. 4.4 million additional jobs lost in the U.S. last week versus an expectation of 4.2 million. So basically in line with expectations. We were sitting here kind of saying it looks like people are becoming immune to these numbers, even though they are still very large with the ongoing outbreak, obviously. Oil back to the upside this morning. We had a big move higher yesterday, 19% in fact for the June contract yesterday, an additional now 20% for oil this morning to the upside. So we're seeing a lot of individual oil names kind of moving higher in the pre-market with the price for crude oil. Some vaccine names also back in positive territory this morning. It is going to be an interesting day, I think, when it comes to some of those small cap names, vaccine names that we like to watch. We'll talk about a lot of them here. Target shares, meanwhile, also in play this morning, moving the opposite direction to the downside, even with positive, or what seems like a positive earnings report for the retailer. Elsewhere on the data front this morning, we'll get March U.S. home sales numbers coming up at 10 o'clock. It's Thursday. That means natural gas numbers at 10:30. It's going to be an interesting day. Back to positive territory for the markets. Thursday, April 23rd, 2020. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go, look at North American markets heading towards the open at this point this morning, back to the upside. As we said, we were basically flat for most of the pre-market. S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ now nicely into positive territory. TSX futures here in Toronto pointing to a higher open, now erasing early losses that we saw. The Brazil market open already up a full percent. We have Bitcoin higher. Look at crude, 20.75%. As we mentioned, in addition to a 20% move yesterday to the upside. Gold is higher to start the day as well. Lots to get to this morning as far as individual names. We had a whole bunch of earnings out once again this morning. When it comes to earnings, guys, interesting note I read this morning, 75% of the S&P companies that have reported so far in their earnings call have used the word unprecedented times in the actual call. IBM, for one example, using it 7 times, while BlackRock just last night deployed unprecedented times 5 times during their call, guys.
That's unprecedented.
It absolutely is, and we'll see how many times we can use it today. I feel like that's a challenge accepted. Hey, we've been having unprecedented numbers when it comes to you guys' support. We're loving it. We can't thank you enough. We're trying to get to that 10,000 subscribers. Why do we want to do that, Sean? So you guys can get some of this merch. We got these fantastic mugs that I love to use every single day.
We need to get you guys going. I mean, everyone's liking, subscribing, so on and so forth. It's been a good run for us today. But yeah, I mean, today should be an unprecedented day in the market, as I see here, moving up 0.55%. Yeah, no, it could be a little slow here. There's a few names on our watch. Thank you for joining the chat early. Neil, myself, Valeria, we're all been over this thing for about a half hour now. So, tune in early. We'll try to get to some questions before the market opens. I like WLL Whiting here. I talked about it blowing through that 120 level. We'll get to that when we talk about more individual stocks, but should be an exciting one. We got Valeria to my left. She'll be on as well. Some people asking if she's Romanian, Ukrainian, or Russian. So we'll find out and see that when she comes on live next. But yeah, we're well diversified on the desk here, Brendan.
All right. Yeah, we'll get the answer here in a few seconds. When it comes to that WLL, interesting options activity I was reading this morning in Whiting. But as we mentioned, the entire energy group moving to the upside with crude prices this morning. Speaking of Valeria, let's get over to her and say good morning.
Hello everyone, welcome to Trader TV Live. Guys, if you're passionate about trading, if you want to learn or improve your trades, and if you want to stay in focus with the latest news from the world of finance, you're at the right place in the right time. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for our channel if you want to see more trading content. And by the way, I'm Russian. See you later, back to traders.
There we go. Answered already. So, yeah, Valeria Batman in the house this morning. Let's get on to some individual names here, guys. Starting the morning in positive territory, Las Vegas Sands. The first one we'll talk about here. The hotel and casino operator reported a Q1 loss, obviously because of the virus outbreak. Their casinos, hotels empty at this point. LVS did say they do expect a quick recovery in their Asian markets in the next coming weeks, which seems to be a little bit of a positive momentum, at least for LVS so far in the pre-market, moving higher this morning, guys.
Yeah, LVS, I mean, look, Asian markets are huge for them. We know about Macau and everything like that, so that's going to be a big one. China's been ahead of the curve in an unprecedented way here as we head into them getting back online. I mean, as soon as it's funny because Las Vegas, the mayor or whatever, is wanting to go back online as well in Las Vegas, which seems crazy to me. But yeah, look,
she won't go in the casinos herself, though. But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? But here we go, guys. The bottom. I don't think I'd go into a casino right now either, to be honest with you. But $33 was the bottom. We're bumping up to 46 right now. I like a break of 46. We did touch 46. Actually, it's about 45.70 or so 3 or 4 days ago. This 46 level has been a little bit of a problem through 48 years. So right now, yeah, we're bumping up to $46. I like it on a break. It's 200,000 shares so far. That's not a horrible number. We are touching up to VWAP right now. VWAP's going to be a little misleading because you do have a big closing print down here. Obviously alternating the VWAP definition, but down here 45, 90, 46. I like that for a break, and if we don't hold, guys, then it's 45 to the downside. So it's an easy, well-structured trade. It's $1 either way. Put on enough risk to hold that. Like I said, if you're only I like to basically risk about 25% of what I'm looking to make or my net daily loss. So if I'm going to lose $2,000 in a day, I like to take some risk of $500 or so on a level. So that would mean on a break like this of 46, I'd have to give it to about 45, 45.20. So a couple hundred shares maybe early on LVS here, and then we'll see the price action.
Yeah, I'm looking at LVS, and the same thing, that 46, though, you do have a bit of a level at about 10 to 25 after that. So there could be initial chop on a 46 break. That might actually give you an opportunity to play a pullback. If it has some issues getting through that price, maybe it dips down a little bit before going a second time. So I'm going to keep that one in the back pocket. Las Vegas Sands, good volume. I think we'll like this one today.
All right, guys, let's go over to Target. The next one, Retail World, reporting earnings that were seemingly better than expected. They reported a 7% increase in same-store sales for the fiscal first quarter. The company did say brick and mortar sales as a whole were down, but online sales more than doubling for the period. But Target to the downside in a pretty big way here so far this morning, guys. 6% for TGT.
Yeah, it actually just broke the 100 level. I'm going to sort of try to zoom in here so you guys can get a better look at what that was. There was a bit of a resistance here at 100. It was all the way down 299. I was saying in the chat earlier, I was looking at a support level between 98 and then down to about 96.80, $97. So it did bounce in front of that support. It is down 6%. Like you said, the number is solid. I think what the fear would be, of course, is that hey, people stocked up or they increased their online purchases. What's the normal going to be like later on and down the line? Their apparel sales weren't very good. All that being said, the market is looking relatively strong today so far. That long in front of 100 looks like it could be an interesting one for sure. I don't usually love pre-market trades here. I see, Kevin, you got it. That's a fantastic look there. We're looking at some similar levels as well. I just want to let you guys know, in the chat, you're going to see two people in there, Kevin Carter and Adam Dalcourt. Both of those guys are traders from our floor with years and years of experience as well. You guys wanted to have traders in the chat a little more engaged as Sean and I are busy trading and Brennan's getting the news. So we're going to give it to you. And those are the two men right there. So have a quick listen to what they're going to be saying and ask them any questions that you want.
Yeah, exactly. Good look. I just want to talk. I did get into Target as well, very, very lightly at $100.60 there. Very, very light. I do want to see what happens with this 100 level and then use 99.50 here probably as some kind of support. So if you are interested in an early trade, 99.50 for me. I'm not going to get out at 100.
Yeah, it seems like overdone maybe a little bit to the downside. We will see. Let's go to Gap here, guys. Another retailer saying it will stop paying rent for the time being on all of its retail locations and work with landlords in renegotiating or deferrals or abating rent altogether as long as the outbreak lasts. So Gap coming out saying also that its current cash on hand may not be enough to fund operations for an extended period. So a little bit of a negative look here. Another retailer to the downside today.
Yeah, ho-hum, like you say.
Yeah, we saw Macy's yesterday.
To the downside. Yeah, Macy's, look, that's been under a lot of pressure. The Yap's had a decent pattern here where you look at the key levels from the previous day and they end up being fantastic sort of support and resistance. And we're looking at $7, I think, off the open here. But just watch out, 7 to about 7.25 if you get the bottom end of the range throughout the majority of the session yesterday. So I'll be shorting in front of that price on Gap. Macy's is also worth a look as well. We'll probably be trading a little bit of Macy's. I think that could be equally as good.
Yeah, and I know I just wanted to bring up that point. I didn't realize that Adam and Kevin would be helping us out. So you are going to see them with that little moderator. It looks like, what is that, a wrench there. So yeah, thank you to Adam and Kevin. They'll be helping you guys out and us out on the chat. Two of the greatest, not greatest, but two great traders that we do have on our floor. I hope you guys are being well there at home, and thank you for helping us out today for sure. So big shout out to Kevin and Adam there. Yeah, Gap, look, I mean, down 6.5%. They're not, well, it was 6, now it's 5.5. Gap down here to 650. I like that break. We saw what Macy's did yesterday. It was a big problem. Wondering if this is a little bit overblown though. If you look at a daily chart, yeah, Gap down here. I mean, we were bottom of 550. I don't think we get to that today. But here's this little 650. We gapped here. So we go 665, gapped up to about $7. So there's a 50-cent little window here. I don't know if you guys can see that on the show or not, but there's about a 50-cent window here. I like it if it breaks through 650, guys. We'll wait for Gap breaking to the south side, 650.
All right, guys, let's go over to Eli Lilly. First of the drug names to talk about so far this morning. Was up sharply early on this morning, but has given back some of those gains. They reported EPS that beat by 27 cents per share. Revenue also above forecasts. They said overall revenue has been boosted by approximately $250 million because of the coronavirus, but they did warn that going forward, there might be a negative impact because of the outbreak. So LLY, as I mentioned, was a little bit higher early on this morning, but we're basically back to highs from yesterday.
By a little bit higher, you mean all-time high. 161, I think we saw that in the pre-market today, and it's basically higher than we were for a couple of sessions ago. Eli Lilly, it's been very, very strong. You can see here, nice little 50% move from the bottom in the last few weeks here. I was looking, look, if you're going to get a top level like that, you have to at least consider the option for a possible short opportunity there. And for me, I was more looking at the 157.25 range. It's not going to be a pre-market trade for me, but you look at that hard top 1, 2, 3 times yesterday at that level, so you can kind of zoom in and have a look at what that looked like. And then we're basically basing out in front of that, and we bounced a couple times on low volume in the pre-market. So you get a bit of a flush there, and you want to be shorting through that price. Maybe give it to 157 if you want to make sure that we're in a downward move on Eli Lilly. It's basically flat on the session, so it's a key pivot area.
Yeah, Eli Lilly, 55,000 shares. Neil hit it right there. I mean, it was at its all-time high yesterday of 161. I don't know. I'm not super interested. I was talking with Kevin a little bit in the chat here about Facebook, and actually this is a little bit of a name. It's not on our list, so I'll just talk about this quickly. I do think 184 is a great little chance here if you want to take a flyer on something. 184 breaking on Facebook. If you go to a daily chart now, you'll be able to see a little bit more what I'm talking about. You do get this little gap fill here, 180 all the way down to 173. But look, 185 was the top. 184.80 was the top yesterday. We're bumping on that again. You do have a couple wicks down here to 184 as well. So 184 at 185 is a pretty key level here. I don't think you can go too wrong if you do take this Facebook on a blast through 184. I like more shares, 184.50. So we'll maybe take a little sleeper position like we have on target right now if it breaks through 184. But then I think it's go ham time, maybe 184.50. Even better than Mr. Softy. Mr. Softy today, 175 is a good look. I loved 174 because it was yesterday's high here in the afternoon at 3 o'clock. We're broken through that, so watch out for 175 on Microsoft and 184.50 on Facebook.
Yeah, good look on Facebook there. Early strength yesterday, breaking above that last little pivot on the way up. So kind of breaking out really yesterday. So we'll see if we get an extension of the strength today. Airlines remain obviously on watch throughout this period because of the severe slowdown in demand for travel. Delta Airlines announcing this morning they'll raise up to $3 billion through a debt offering and a new credit line in an attempt to secure some sort of operations throughout this period. They're talking about, guys, 80 to 90% reduction in demand when it comes to travel. So Delta doing the most volume when it comes to the actual airlines group this morning, but not really moving at all on that news.
No, obviously you saw what happened yesterday. If you were following along, massive movement to the downside, but making a firm bottom at 2160 was Delta. And you're seeing, oddly enough, a lot of stability, like you mentioned, between 40 and 80 right now. And Delta was one, hey, I was looking for it to be support at that 35, and we'll take a crack at Delta if it's going to be a strong market. I think there's an opportunity here in the airlines. You've been seeing some squeezes in some of these names, and sometimes moving up rapidly, especially after a big time down day. I just think you don't want to let it go past that support level. Letting those longs and get stubborn, extending too far got me in trouble. So today we'll take one shot at it through the 80 break. If that fails, and certainly we'll use that support level as our out.
Yeah, AAL, CCL, all of the travel stocks here are going to be in play today. So watch out for us. If we come up across any key levels, obviously, like Neil just mentioning there, we'll bring them up. And guys, don't be afraid on the chat also. I mean, we're a big team here on Trader TV Live, including the viewers. So thank you for everybody watching. Over 500 already, which is a record for us. So that's fantastic. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, more importantly. But yeah, look, what I mean is that we're a team. So if there's any levels you guys see, shout them out. We have Kevin, we have Adam on the chat as well, and we'll be paying attention to that. So I like the cruise space today. Market pulling back just a little bit now, but we're still above that 2,800.
Energy names across the board, as we were mentioning, showing strength as a group. Marathon did have a little bit of news. MRO, the company saying it will take a roughly $7.8 billion charge for the first quarter due to the plunge in fuel demand. Also said it expects to report an overall quarterly loss for its current quarter. So MRO, I mean, the entire group, take your pick here, moving higher, 7.5% though, even with somewhat negative news.
Yeah, I don't know, somewhat negative news, but I think you have to look at the story of where it's come from, right? So MRR is bouncing off $3. This is a massive decline that it's had, of course, during these times. And look at this nice rounded bottom this makes. So it's a breakout through 450, and that's what you're seeing. You're seeing that 450 level get taken out, and there's just a huge gap to be filled in MRO, and that's what the momentum is going to be in this morning.
Here comes WLL.
I think 450 is going to be support. Yeah, that 120 level on WLL certainly starting to go, and if you grab that INO, it's now through 13, so I grabbed some at 1306. If you want to get into that party, you want to grab some in front of that 13. But Whiting Petroleum is what we're talking about here at that 120 level.
Yeah, I'll be in right now. So if this breaks 120, I'm going to take this one. We missed Snapchat yesterday on a $15 break, and it closed, what, $16.80 or something? So here we go. WLL, it topped out at 120 before. Mind all these little dark pool wicks here. Now we're long. So there's that little tick. We are now long Whiting 121. So a couple hundred shares here. We're going to wait to see how this thing gets going. Like I said, do not like to take very much risk here off the open. Let's wait to see what happens. Before we go back to Brendan, though, I do want to check out the market on open imbalance locator. I mentioned this a little bit in the chat before. I actually did not even see Whiting up here at almost 2.5 million shares. So what this means, guys, is there's a 2.5 million share buy order coming, and you won't really see that on the level 2 right now. It's a market on open order, so you're going to see this print something probably high side off the open, which is creating this little move up here in Whiting. Snapchat to sell today, so we'll look at that after a 35% move yesterday. That was ridiculous, but it's right here, Snapchat. So I think we'll look at that before we open up here. But look, Whiting, a big bid, and look at the chart, guys. This is what's creating this move up here for sure. A nice little big bid. If I can take out quickly, 10% or so on this move, if we can get up to 130, I'll probably dump about half of these shares. We're long at 121. We'll see if we can't make an early winner on Whiting, guys.
It's amazing we were talking about that 2 days ago. It was like 30 cents, and now it's back above $1. Big mover there, Whiting. Let's go on to more earnings here, guys. Sleep Number posting a quarterly profit of $1.36 a share, easily topping estimates. Revenue was also a blowout number, so a really nice quarter for Sleep Number, the mattress maker. Obviously, they did, however, or did not, I should say, provide guidance going forward for the remainder of the year. If you like, the kind of $25, $30 stocks, this one doing all kinds of volume for its typical pre-market volume as far as relative volume is concerned, but 23% here for SNBR, guys, on the NASDAQ.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 40,000, but like you said, relative volume sometimes can be a little bit more important. You can go back and when it had a spike a couple of weeks ago, you can certainly see here at a 29.70 was a bit of a level. So it tried to brush up into that this pre-market and it turned around. Usually when I see that, I see a double support level like that, I'm probably going to be shorting in front of it. However, this is not a name that I'm taking off of the open. Perfectly comfortable being in an INO or looking at a whiting or something a little bit more liquid, but sleep number is not something that I'm going to be getting involved until I see the opening range made. So if we hold that top, that's going to be 29.70, not today's high, but the one you saw on the daily, then I think it's an interesting opportunity to short it. Otherwise, we'll stay away.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Snapchat here, 1664. I don't want to, I want to go short here, but I'll put a few hundred shares here and then really try to go short if it breaks this 1650 level. Now that I saw that market on open in balance order here, 800,000 to sell. So, and it is actually, 1640 is a nice little bottom here on Snapchat. This is the move we're talking about yesterday. You see an acceleration through 15 here and then just kept on going. We did have a quick pullback. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. This is yesterday off open. If I could maybe even zoom in a little bit more and give you just a little look about why the open's so dangerous. Come on, Char, let's go. Here it is here. So yesterday we open up. We're bouncing around 1528 and then the market on open order comes through and it prints all the way down to 1485 before basically immediately ripping back up to like 1530. So you had about like an 80-cent move on a $15 name because of a market on open order. So we did have the guys from NYSE come through and talk all about that. Find that on our YouTube channel soon. But 1484 to the upside here. Snapchat, it could do the same thing. Watch out for a 1640 break. I do want to take 1650 short. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try to defend 17 on the short side. I think Snap was way overdone yesterday. People may be taking profit here. Okay, there we go.
Yeah,
I'm short
I was
already.
just saying my target range is 80 to 17. I'm digging into that one in that same price range. We love it.
I just got short, so we'll have to see what happens here. 1663, guys.
All right, guys, let's go to Pharma World here. Immunomedics, the first one we'll talk about. There was news on that AYTU Bioscience. They announced a U.S. distribution deal for more COVID-19 test kits coming from Singapore. So a little pop for that one, but nothing too exciting. Immunomedics, though, FDA granted them accelerated approval for a breast cancer treatment that they've been working on. So IMMU on the NASDAQ, a huge pop here, 32% to the upside. Back about 29. If you go way back when we were trading this thing on the show, I believe 28 and 29 were significant levels.
Yeah, it's been a long time since that stock has seen a price like that. There was one day that it popped. I think this is one you're referring to, but it was actually, I think it was 26 or so. But either way, you're talking about fresh highs and the explosive movement in IMMU. However, you are getting consolidation lower with an extension move like that. It's going to be setting up for a short off the top. It put in a lower high at 29.80. I was already looking at this one. Now that we're below this 29.50 mark, I'll be trying to take a break at 29 off of the open. You give it about a buck, I think you can get a decent retracement shot. Like I mentioned, that 26 level, even if you got halfway there, that's a good return. I think ultimately have a good shot to retrace the entire way. So you have to give this one a buck before you know whether you're right or wrong for a $29 stock. That's just the reality when you have an explosive move like this.
Yeah, I just want to I'll update and show you guys the positions I have because I have three. Like I go from saying I'm never going to take positions in the pre-market to now having three. So Here's the positions here. Snapchat short, 1663. We're just going to wait till 17 breaks on that one. Hopefully that's okay. WLL, we just took some out for 4-cent winner, but it's now 4 cents in the money. Our target position is 15 cents in the money. So 2 longs, 1 short. Those are the positions I'm working with right now, guys.
All right, guys. Worth mentioning on that Immunomedics, not a small cap. It's kind of in the mid cap range, over 4 billion. Market cap on that IMMU. So should be at least tradable at some point this morning. Counterpath Corporation, however, is definitely a small cap. The software service company trading higher in the pre-market after increasing its quarterly guidance for its current quarter, saying they make products, cloud products, networking products, similar to the Zoom conferencing type of product. So CPAH here, yeah, almost 100% move in the pre-market. We're up above 420. There's that 420 number once again, and $4 was a significant level on the daily chart. Above that, though, there's really nothing.
Yeah, like you said, it's an unprecedented price here at 420. So CPAH, very, very bullish. And when I look at these retracement plays on gaps up, this is exactly what you're not looking for. It has not failed through any key price, certainly whether that's 420 or that's going to be higher here. But watch out. Whiting's taking out the pre-market top here at 130, so you got to alert to that for sure. But CPAH looks like it's still running. That could make it a breakout through that 440 opening price. It's not a retracement play yet. Doesn't mean it might not happen, but I will be looking at this one for one of those FOMO longs in front of 440 and just use the momentum as long as it wants to be upside. But watch out for halts as well.
Okay, guys, here we go. So it's already a bullseye here for us on Whiting. So we already take it long here, 120. You see the outs, guys, 25s, 27s, 29s, and now 33s, 34s. So Whiting, we're already, guys, nice little trade on that one. Got that money going through. Snapchat, we also just took. We're short 63s. We just got some out 55. So once again, guys, throwing the cash around here in the pre-market. All three of these positions are all winning right now. This short rate here in Snapchat is a cash money position. Hopefully, we'll wait to see on that one. Explode it once again. We'll wait to see if it breaks 1650. I do like that one. And here goes Whiting again, coming back down a little bit. But 134, what a great out that was, guys. We've already made the money today, so hopefully this day can just keep getting better.
All right, guys, one more small cap here. Just mentioned AYTU, but we're showing, I think, 7.26% to the upside. 145 up here, up to about 150. Definite resistance on a higher time frame. As I mentioned, not a lot of movement here in the pre-market. Decent volume, though, in the pre-market. Again, they teamed up with a company from Singapore with a distribution deal for more COVID-19 test kits in the U.S. market. So if we do get up here to that 150 kind of area, have a look at that one too, guys.
Yeah, AYTU, that's a good one at 150. I think that's going to be the key price. Very, very good look there. We're talking about some of the airline names as well, so don't want to sleep on those. I know we started off with them. Someone was asking about Oxy when it comes to the energy space. Of course, Sean looking at Whiting, WLL, Oxy, pushing upside today. So it's also up 3.5%. Obviously not as big of a move in this bounce to the upside. I like shorting when we get a retracement in crude when it comes to Oxy. XOM may be a better one for the long side. But let's look anyways. If we can hold above 1350 at the open, I think that's a good buying opportunity, although I do prefer to sell it when it does move to the downside. And you're talking about the downgrade there. Upside right now, you're seeing Whiting move up on a squeeze. If we get any sell-off in oil, it's usually my place to come in and jump into Oxy, but I'm not doing it just yet. I want to see if what happens at this pivot area at 1350. We need to get to Valeria with only 3 minutes to go here. Doing a fantastic job. Sorry, no? Nope, my bad. Apparently not. We have Valeria on the bell today.
Yeah, guys, we're already, some of you are already asking for, what's a winner I could get 10% on in a day. Here's one right now. I just took 10% off right here. We already took that. This is a 10% winner already. Long 121 up to 134. That's a win every day. And here we go. Snapchat as well. Looks like it wants to break the 1650 on open. I heard we're ready for Brendan. What's up, Brendan?
Guys, just wanted to mention this. Just seeing a couple of downgrades coming through on Biogen, one that was pretty weak yesterday, BIIB. Big move down yesterday on some news, but yeah, gapping down even further. We're right at pre-market lows. Not a lot of volume, but a couple of downgrades on Biogen, guys.
All right.
Absolutely. Thank you very much there, Brendan. Just a quick look also at Delta. This is one that we were also talking about here. I did like 22.35 as a bit of a support, and we're going to be looking at this one right off of the open. It does seem like 22.50 we're hanging out at. I want to see a 22.80 break. I think it's one of those positions where you can add to it if it goes on the way up. Otherwise, you just want to play it in front of that support. So having a quick look at Delta as Whiting may be coming back in. I like that one. If it even pulls back, that could be an interesting trade. I have INNO, and we're watching this one two ways here, guys. We have 13.27 or 25 to 27 and 13.35. I'm reversing long at 35 on a potential breakout, but this is one that has some nice pullbacks in it. Opportunities, it's up 13%. We got about a minute to go here.
Guys, we're already crushing, Neil. Sorry to interrupt. Snapchat here. Big time winner, guys. It's already flossing off. The market's not even open yet. I'm so super glad we take Snapchat here. Look at this short, guys. 16.65. You guys want winners? Booyah. We were starting to show off huge already, guys. WLL was a monster winner. We took more short, 16.50 break on Snapchat, getting them out in the 40s. Here we go. We put on the risk, and you get that reward. So Snapchat right now looking like it's a nice little winner. We did take some out here. I don't know what happened there. We bounced at 16.40. So let's see if that can test it. But we're loaded up now. Target, Whiting, and Snapchat. Let's go, baby.
Having a quick look, guys. Gap is making a move towards the high. That 7 even mark that we really like is starting to come into play here, guys. About 5-10 cents away with about 25 seconds to go until the open. Valeria is going to be on the ball. Remember, hit that like and subscribe. But we're watching airlines. We're watching a bit of the retailers as well. There are some small caps, as Brendan also mentioned. And, of course, Snapchat, a big one from yesterday. So about to drop this bell to the downside here as we have 10, 9, 8. There is Valeria. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Market is about to be open. Immediately, there goes a gap through 1. We have right now, we do have that INO looking to see if it does take out that 1335. That could be a big move to the upside.
Yeah, here we go. Obviously, we're in the Snapchat. We talked about that. Let's just see what happens. It's now making its move back to the upside. So watch out for this 1680 level. That's where we're going to hold that. Here goes target. We're long at 101.60. So, $160. This is already a 70-cent winner for you. So there's the chicken dinner once again on target. If you want that, that's 70-cent winner. Snapchat pulling down now. They tried to take this top off. They failed. So let's see what Snapchat does. I have a target way down here, but at least below 1640. Here we go. It's chicken dinner. It's home run time. Snapchat for the win, guys. Big time trading. Kaboom. We hit these winners for you. That's it. I'm done. I can go home now. Have fun, guys. WLL actually at 140 as well. Kaboom. The money's in, guys. Neil, I'm done. You take it over from here, buddy.
INO just broke through the top side. We had the 1335. That was that little look that we're looking at. However, it does snap back down almost immediately. So we want to see if it can hold 25s. That's going to be the key point there. Looks like it might have actually ended up being a bit of a shorting opportunity. I'm going to get you guys to Oxy in a second as well, but gap is through $7. If it fails back down, I am going to be going short at 7 even if it comes back and holds below.
Yeah, okay, guys. I mean, everything was huge there. We're already nicely into the money here on everything. Snapchat now coming back up, but we've taken this out. We know Snapchat's going to be a volatile ride today, but look at this, guys. We take a clean dollar in $100.60, out 101.60. I gave you this 102 level on target, and let's see. Here we go. This is a $1.50 winner now on target. Here. $1.50. Oops, my mistake. We're even higher now. We're going to try to take $2 out of this target if we can. 102.50. Let's take this out. We're long at 101.60. Here we go. That's a $2 winner for you. Merry Christmas. Also, guys, Snapchat back to the day's low. Here we go. Air Hornet out, guys. These are all winners for you. This is what I do on the show. Let's go. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Adam. Let's keep this show rocking, guys. Big winners everywhere. Let's go.
Here comes Whiting on a pullback. You liked 120 before. You're probably going to like it again as it dips right back down into the 125 range. You do have that opening range here at 125. 120 was the level. I talked about a possibility of a pullback. That looks like that's exactly what we've gotten so far. I just grabbed some shares here at 28. We'll see if it breaks 30 and then try to work out of some of those snap. I might have to actually get a little more aggressive than 80s. I think 65 to 70 could be an entry point.
What, Snapchat? Yeah. We're already, Snapchat is already, guys, let's find the stock logo here if I can find it. It doesn't matter. We punch Snapchat in the face. And now we got a seller. Kaboom! Thank you, guys. Big time trading happening on this side right now. We're just cashing this out. Bang! Out at 20 there on Snapchat. This just keeps going. Oh, yeah, you want a $3 winner? Okay. How about Target, guys? We are long right down here. $100.60. It's at 103.70. I also gave you the 102 level. Get out of here, notes. We are just running this game today, guys. I hope you like it. I don't even need to trade it. I'm already making more money today than I did yesterday, and it's 9:33. It's party time, guys, here on Trader TV Live. Let's go.
I'll give a new one to you guys here. SDC, that's going to be Smile Direct Club. It just flushed off the open, coming all the way back. Market is moving to the upside. Watch Smile Direct and put a stop at 585 upside on Smile Direct. Otherwise, I'm shorting in front. Big time pop off an initial flush. Smile Direct's been a runner. I'm going to be shorting it in front of that 85 with a reversal to the long side on Smile Direct. Flushed out of INO, which looks like the right call was the short call, the initial one that we were giving you. I reversed long. Initial short was definitely the right call, but Smile Direct I'm looking at 75 to 80 with a reverse.
I love Smile Direct. Smile Direct, great stock there. Look at the futures. We missed our Facebook trade, guys. Facebook went out at one. Oh my God. Rewind the tape, guys. I gave you this one, 184. 50. I went out to 184.60. I missed the trade, but look at this. If you guys were listening and paying attention to that trade off the open, you guys had it. Put it in the chat if you had anything on Facebook off the open. We talked about it at 184 and then 184.50. I said it would be hammer time. We put the trade out. We missed the fill, but there it is for you guys. Again, we'll smile because hopefully you guys were listening there. 184.50. We gave that to you. I don't have it, but that's that trade. We're out of Snapchat basically for an absolutely monster winner. That was a great idea. I'll be coming back with a few more, including maybe I'll hop over there on Neil's Smile Direct because that stock does like to break out, and $6 looks pretty juicy.
Yeah, secondary move here in Whiting. We talked about that bounce off of 120, looking like it's going to hold at least a little bit above 130, but it didn't get to 140 in that push, so I'm taking half of it out, see if we can't hold the rest. Brendan, you got anything for us?
Yeah, a little one here, guys. Enzo Biochem, ENZ on the New York Exchange, 36% to the upside. Just broke that pre-market high at $3. They came out this morning and said they now have a COVID-19 test kit as well. So nice look for ENZ, guys.
Good look there. And so I have half of this whiting out. I think we can make another run at that 140. Remember, guys, we talked about this one being, I think it's like 56% of the float is actually short. So you have squeeze potential here on multiple moves. And of course, coming from like 16 cents not too long ago, it has lots of potential. Upside plays, here comes that Smile Direct. I don't know why. I was actually just saying under my breath what happened to my stop order. It looks like it did not fill me for some reason. I'll maybe have to get in here and pay a price I didn't want. I tried to get 585. I was just telling you guys about that. I do not get triggered in. We'll see if we can't pick it up on a 6th break.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I made the same mistake there on, what a huge trade Facebook was, guys. Let's see where that's at right now. Again, 184.50, damn it. That could have been a monster trade there, but we missed it. So, okay, we'll just move on from that one right now. But, okay, guys, big trades today. Let's check out XOM, as oil tends to be a good indicator here. We'll be trading whiting here today as well, but XOM now, oil still up 22%. XOM, that nice little 2% bump off the day today. I threw my notebook, but what did I write down? $43 XOM. That's kind of where we're pegging to right now. You do have a bottom of 42.65 here on XOM. So let's just keep looking to see if there's any trades happening on any of these names. Tesla downside as well. That might be one to look at, guys.
Yeah, Snapchat back in that 60 range. Remember that initial 1680 to 17 mark was sort of what we were looking at before, and I think that's one we have to at least retry here with a strong market, however. So I do have whiting to the long side. I talked about Oxy as well and why I wasn't going to be shorting this like I usually would. You get a bump up here. If we turn around, I think it's a decent opportunity through 1350 at some point, but a little bit too strong right now. So we're long in whiting. We're not going to take the short yet in Occidental. We'll revisit that one a little bit later. Another one that we didn't talk about, and apologies for this. Pinterest is going to be on my radar today. You can see what's happened on the daily, breaking out through that 18 mark, running into some chop here, but it looks like it has a chance to march to 19 and some decent support at that 19 even level. Brendan, what do you got, bud?
Yeah.
L Brands, guys, we mentioned this one yesterday. Obviously, big crash on that news. Did reopen. What time was that? Just after lunch, I guess it was. We did finally reopen on LB. But look at this. Yeah, back above that little pivot from yesterday afternoon, moving higher significantly through 1050 now for LB as well.
LB, yeah, good move there. We're working on my earpiece, so Neil's gonna have to carry this
no worries.
as far as that is concerned. But Target right now, look, we've bounced off a $3 winner a couple times. I think I'll put an order here, 103.50 or so. Just take this $3 winner out on this one. If it breaks below 102.50, we'll take that out then for a $2 winner. So it looks like that might happen soon. Target, the only position we really have on now, I'm very small in our Snapchat position right now. Yeah, it says device connected now, so maybe we could try it. Maybe it's working. Snapchat to the downside. I do like Snapchat if it does break through 1680. I'm going to take another look at this once we get our technical problems figured out here. But 103.50, not a bad spot here for Target. Let's just take out $3. I think that should be a decent return on this one, guys.
Yeah, I just reloaded a little bit here in whiting, and again, it was just I saw a buyer come in, and I'll show you what I was talking about. It dipped down. We did take a long 128, took it out in front of 135. I saw it dip down, and a buyer stepped up right at this 118 level from the pre-market. So I bought that price. nice, and we're looking for a secondary move here. One note about Whiting, you're going to see me aggressively get out of this one and take some profit, and that's because we put in a lower high here, so that's one of those things on a gap up where there could be a bit of retracing happening, and maybe not the strength after that first initial move, but a buyer did step up at a pre-market level. That's one thing that you have to look out for, so I'm going to get out of some of those shares. Snapchat I have short at 63s. That was on that little pullback, and Sean talked about that 80 level to 17 even that we like, so I took a shot at it short in front of it. It's starting to work out. Just the two positions on for me, the retrace in Snap, and then of course Whiting as well. We grabbed that one to the long side. I think we'll probably have to take that one off in front of 130 and only get about 10% maximum return.
Yeah, I like 10%. Yeah, we've taken 10% on Whiting. We got out of Whiting. What is
I think
that?
The first move might have been the best one. I could be wrong about that, but if it puts in a lower high here, it could end up being a nice short here. And it was actually $1.50 for locates for us to pay for Whiting to be able to short it today.
Guys, you want to talk about hitting Whiting and just basically being on fire on this one. Check the chart on Whiting here, guys. Look where I got out. So we take this 121 long in the pre-market and then bang it all the way up here. 139 we got out, and then we also got out at 142 or 140. Yeah, I guess 142 up here. So those were some nice winners. So we put Whiting into the gates of hell, as that just keeps going on here. Okay, we take some more Snapchat here. I'm going to wait about for 1680, like we keep talking about. That level breaks, we'll regroup on that name right now. But
I do believe Brendan has something for us. Brendan, what do you got?
Another name here, guys, with a decent move this morning. Nautilus, sports equipment maker, NLS, moving higher still, up to 7 almost here on NLS, 15% move. They had not one but 2 different upgrades this morning as well, so another one to look at, guys.
Yeah, we're going to add Donaldson. I'm going to let you guys know I took out just about everything. I literally have less than 10% of that Whiting, and it called me a little bit pessimistic about this one, but I'm longing the pullbacks, which is kind of my style, shorting pullbacks, longing pullbacks, and this one just doesn't feel like it has the juice to get up to 135. We did find that buyer and just jumped in front of it for as many shares as we could. I'm not going to hang on to this one for dear life. I'm going to throw a stop here at 120 so that it can't turn into a losing trade. I'm just not feeling like this is as strong of a move as I was anticipating on that secondary push in Whiting. It might not be done. Maybe we'll watch that high of day, but it certainly seems like it's stalling out in the short term.
Yeah, okay, 1680 here. I'm just not going to hold this for too much longer on Snapperoonie here. We'll get out if that does break. Target there, unfortunately, it does break that 102.50 level, so oh, well, we take it to the moon anyways. It's a nice little $2 winner there. We capture $1 there, then the second part right there. So, yeah, big-time winners abound right now in this market for sure. We can check out some more names. I did want to talk about Softy breaking the top there as well. We talked about that in the pre-market of 174-ish. That happens right away, rips to 175, now giving some back. Microsoft not as strong as the market, so note that, guys, and you'll be able to make a little bit of a difference there on Microsoft. It seems to be weaker than the market. If we can break down below 174-ish on Microsoft again, maybe we'll try a short if the market does give some back here on that. We just did take a little bit of a loser there. First loser of the day on Snapchat. It does break above that 1680. So we tried a little small average in there before getting out. But Snapchat is definitely
Sean, it's in my target range though. I'm actually going to see if we can't add in front of 17, take a real shot. But Brendan, I think, has something for us.
Yeah, market's strong here, guys. Oil continuing. Apache, another energy name, up 8.2%. Bit of a pullback, but broke $10 right at the open there on huge volume. So APA off to the races. Another one to look at, guys.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take Snap. It just went there. So as it took 1680 again on the way back in, I'm going to add to my position. We do have it at 70. I like it in front of 17, even as an overall price. We still have this Whiting. I mean, I've got some shares left at 118. I talked about moving my stop order in there. It's just having a lot of trouble making a secondary push. So if this wants to be a home run, that's fine. I'm going to stop out at break even here when it breaks 120. It just doesn't seem like it has the strength, and I keep mentioning that over and over again because that's just the feeling. I'm going to get you over to United Airlines, which I know we got away from the airlines here. I was looking at that 26.80, so 25.80 to 26.25 level. We broke above that and are now trying to hold it. So a nice little strong move here. If we can hold 26.25, I'm going to catch this one on the way back up.
Okay, here goes. Okay, I'm long Snapchat small now for some reason. As it comes back, I will get out here at 68. There we go. Take a long at 65, out there, 68 there by accident. So you got to watch out for some of your trades going through. Okay, Target, another name we looked at today was LVS. So let's check that back in. Thanks to Adam and Kevin on the chat, guys. You have any questions or comments, they'll be looking at some symbols with us as well. LVS looking to take down the bottom here, 44.20. We're heading southbound. My Unity is now good, guys. So what's up, Brendan?
A little gold miner here, guys, reporting earnings. Gold Fields, GFI in New York, 10.9%. Nice look here as well. Just broke $8 on decent volume. Earnings were great for GFI, guys.
I hate your guts, IMMU. We talked about the 29 break. I have an order actually sitting there for when it did break, and I did not catch it. We'll just go ahead and cancel that. Little pullback initially here to 28.50. Maybe we'll take a second shot at it. I feel like this was the one we gave you, making a move to 26, about 30 or 40 was our target area. It looks like it has a chance to get there. Got to 27, so it was a clean $2 move. I think maybe I didn't cross far enough. I was crossing 25 cents. I thought that was good enough. I'm going to look at 28.50 on IMMU, up 28%. Still some room on that gap.
And guys, here we go. We're trying to get out of some of this LVS. So we are now short LVS 44.16 as we're bouncing around on this 44 level. I put a bid there. I thought I got out in the 90s, but I guess it must have run over me and didn't fill me. So we're going to wait here. 43.90. It was a lot of action there on this break, but we go double short, as you can see, breaking 44.20, then breaking 44. So we're going to wait to see 44.15 right now is the short on LVS, and the out's not going to be until probably somewhere near this VWAP, 44.85 or so on LVS. But let's see if we can't hold this bottom and continue to break bottoms here on LVS, not hold it. We want this to keep going down. We are now short, 44.15. I'm waiting in the 90s here, see if I can get some out. That would be nice, but right now LVS, the only position I have on, and it's a short. So we'll see. LVS, of course, they had earnings, talking about China, still up that 7%, wondering if we're going to give that back or not. But LVS on the short side right now, guys.
I'll floss a little bit off on that snap, and I'll show you the chart in a second. We do have 70s to the short side. It's breaking back down to 50s, but I'm looking at Gap here. Gap moves to the upside initially, now flat on the session, but look at afternoon. I talked about the good levels from the previous day as an indicator on the Gap. 725 was one of the ones we gave. It just rejected that price. So if I'm looking to short, don't jump in front of the sword. Allow it to retest the level and then take a shot. For me, it's going to be that 725 to 730. The high is actually 32. That's going to be your stop. Here's our entry right here. We can start our position in the teens and then maybe work something up to about 20 and then see if we can't retrace some of this at least to 7 even and a possible breakout. So we do have the short still in Snapchat. That one, our average price now 73. Also just started Gap to the south side. And we still have a little bit of whiting. The last 10%, I think we're going to probably end up breaking even when it breaks 120.
Yeah, we're still waiting and trying to massage this LVS trade. I did put a couple orders here at 44 and change. So if it can spike down to 44 once again, I just wonder if 44 is kind of a pinned number here. We tried to break it, then it resisted that break. So yeah, I'd like to give it one more shot here through 44. If we get an instant pullback up of some sort, then we may want to get out of this one. But for right now, LVS, I am bidding down here at 03 or so. See if we can resist this 44 again. But doesn't look like it even wants to get there. So LVS right now, if it breaks down below 44, will be quite nice. But we are waiting for this one. I also did have Microsoft coming down to 174. We talked about wanting to go through our trades early. I will be taking a 174 break to the downside on Mr. Softy as well. So looking for two shorts here as the market pulls back. I think we can peg 2,800. So let's wait to see if it comes back to 2,800 here. That would be a 12 handle drop from here.
Yeah, and as you talk about that pullback, I'm looking for places to add to this GPS short, but it looks like it's going to be Snapchat that works out for me, as I wanted to get a better price in Gap. I got 713, but here comes Snapchat on a secondary pull here. We shorted that pullback. Our average price, our best entry was at 77. We did take some in front of that 70 even as well, but now you get the flush you're looking for. I will take some more shares out here for the over 30 cent win on Snapchat, and not necessarily think that the next move is going to be bigger. It was a big time bounce off the 16 even, something we don't want to ignore. Brendan, what do you got?
Just trying to find some weakness here, guys. Early on, DFS Financial, they reported earnings that were not good, gapping to the downside. Some of the banking groups still in negative territory. This one, however, trying to get back up here to positive. 35, a decent level, just turned at that point, but watch out for that 35.20, 35.25 for DFS, guys.
good look as always, DFS, not daily fantasy sports, but a little bit of something else there. I'm going to have a quick look going back to a stronger name, and that's been usually XOM when it comes to the oil space. You are getting a bump to the upside. It's potentially a breakup. But what I'd be watching is this 43, 45, maybe you want to call it 50. I know, Sean, you like those evens and quarters. And why I think it's going to be interesting is if an upside play in oil, let's look for that break in XOM. We haven't looked at the current contract. You're seeing a big time movement here. We were up through $17 a barrel very, very briefly, but you're seeing a nice upward trend. When this turns back around and takes the top, that's where you want to be long in XOM, potentially through that 43.40, 43.50 area. So look out for that.
Okay, yeah, XOM, that was 43. Yeah, that's exactly the spot there. LVS, look, guys, we did take some out down here. I told you we were putting some out near $44 there. So we did take a little bit of a winner, but now we are starting to go back to the upside here. And remember, we're not going to hold these earnings plays for too long because someone always knows more than we do. So we may average in a little bit here on this move back to the north side, but we still have to use our out of 44.65 or so on this name. I have 44.75 actually as our out. So let's average in a little bit more to LVS right now, but we aren't going to hold this past 44.75. This one could be a decent loser for us here. I did like 46 to the long side, so if it gets going, we could go back up there. But right now, LVS, if it gets back into the 50s or 60s, we'll probably put on a few more shares. But right now, we are short LVS and we are back short Snapchat. So 2 shorts right now. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. It's been a fun day. I hit some huge winners off the open. You guys know that if you were watching. So it's been a good day for that. Let's wait to see if Microsoft takes out 174 here. And then let's just keep on trading. Hit that subscribe button, guys.
Snapchat. Yeah, hit that subscribe. You want that merchandise? We got to hit that 10,000 mark if you like the mugs, if you like everything that we have available. Maybe we get some t-shirts, Sean in the Void, whatever it might be, a little booyah action or one of the catchphrases. Look, Snapchat here, I actually hit the pigs get slaughtered sign when you were talking there, Sean. I'm going to use this 1650 to trail the rest of my shares here. If it breaks back above, we'll look for another re-entry point and take our profit. If it gets below this 1630, then we'll look to take off some profit and take the rest of these shares out. So inside of this range, we're not really going to do anything just below VWAP. If it breaks above, I'll be covering. If it hangs out below, we'll look for an extended move to the downside. We still haven't been able to add to our position at a price I like in Gap. We do have the short here on the way down at 713. We're in the money. I told you guys that I wanted it to break 7 even. I think we'll at least explore the idea of taking some shares out here for a 10-cent win, and then maybe look to see if we can't get a bigger move on the rest down to 680. But I would have liked to catch some more shares. I was looking for some consolidation for at least a few seconds or a few minutes above VWAP. It didn't happen. But that just means a short one in the money for you all the way. So even if you don't get your full position, it's working. So you can't really complain too much. Whiting is back to 130, so we hung on to that one. I didn't think we'd get more than 10% on the rest of this. Just might do that. Brendan, what do you got?
Strong one from yesterday, guys. CMG here. Chipotle just went negative on the day. Big move down from 910 up there all the way to 880. So moving to the southbound side for CMG, guys.
Microsoft, so we did average into our LVS here at 54 there, so we're going to wait to see if this can come back to the downside. I mean, the market's coming down, so I think we should be okay here, but LVS holding up strong, so that's why I'm not going to let this one keep going upside. If the market turns around, LVS is going to be in trouble, I can guarantee you that. Microsoft right here, we are getting close to 174. I am going to regroup on that one and see what happened if we do break through there. I do like it on a break through 174 still. This market, I don't know, man. We are choppy a little bit right now. Not really moving in a directional format. We had a big move up here. Stops at 28.20. Now we're trying to see what it wants to do around this 28.10 level. I still think we can come back to 2800. So let's see if that's in the cards right now. But my Snapchat spot, I'm still short 1634. I don't mind that. We will see if it can break lower.
Oh, it's breaking that 1630 right now, Sean.
This is real good.
Big time movements back to the downside. So this pullback looking absolutely fantastic. I did say once it broke 1630, I'd be looking for a profit-taking opportunity. It looks like that's exactly where it does want to hold out a little bit. So what am I going to do? I'm going to see if we can't snap out of it. And again, once we get this fill here, looking for about 40 to 45 pennies on Snapchat with that 77 short that we have on. I did both get out of and add back into Gap. I thought we would hold 7 at least a little bit, so I did take out some in front at 702. I then got back in on a break of 7, which didn't hold. So we end up with a short right here at 703. Of course, we've already taken a winner on our initial short position. We'll work this one in front of VWAP. So Snapchat and Gap short still in that whiting long, which is just doing nothing. It's bouncing between $1.20 and $1.30. Need a break in one direction or the other. If it breaks down, I will be out of that long.
Yeah, exactly. And look, guys, I'm trying to get this snap to go. We're waiting at 27 now. We are short once again here at 34. Thank you for joining us today, guys. Hit that subscribe button. Like Neil mentioned, we want trying to get to 10K. We have about 8.4 now or so, debating, seeing how it goes today. We're going to wait to see those Snapchats still on the downside. My LVS, man, it's still hanging around off this short. We did go in the money about 30 pennies off of this short, but we're still waiting to see if we can break above this 44.75. Look, that's right where VWAP is. Volume weighted average price. It's an indicator that we use quite often on here. So if we can break back above that, that'll get me out of this trade. But man, I think it's too bad because I thought we were going to go here breaking through 44. Then we only got out a little bit. We averaged in. So this one could be an averaged down loser, but not Snapchat. Snapchat 1634 short again. So I don't have any bids now on this one. Let's see if we can't take out these days low. This is my biggest trade of the day so far. Short 1660. WLL was about a 12% winner. So that was good. But then again, Snapchat right here. So let's see if we can't revisit some of these lows, 1620-ish, guys.
Yeah, having a look at that Smile Direct that we were talking about earlier. Like I said, we did miss that 585 break. It was a good one. It did turn around at 6 even, which we thought might be the opportunity. So it did make that turn, but now it's basing out, making a wedge, and at 955, for it to already be slowing down is not that appealing to me. So maybe not going to be involved until we get a second push, maybe through 6. We'll take a long break on Smile Direct. Brendan, what do you got?
Yeah, market coming in here, guys, but tough to find weakness. Here's one, CTXS rather, Citrix to the downside today after their earnings were below estimates. Thinly traded, tread lightly, but CTXS down about 8%, guys.
Okay, we'll definitely have to add that one to the list.
Why is the market coming in?
Yeah, the market is still coming in, but we're still above 2,800, and we're still positive on the session, the ES, and of course overnight, we're sort of teetering back and forth when it came to positive territory. I'm going to go back to whiting. I think certainly with the volume that it has, it's going to be interesting to you guys, but why we're not doing too much, and I kept talking about it being sleepy, is look at this. You're basically seeing consecutive lower highs and you're seeing it put in higher lows. It's just converging around 125. That means it's going to be an interesting breakout play. So I wasn't shorting it before. I will look at a short now if we break that 120 to 115 area. Upside, you're looking at 135 probably having to be taken out before you get too excited about whiting again.
Yeah, we just got taken out of about half of our position here on LVS. So we can fall in, we'll put it into the gates of hell here. LVS goes right up to VWAP. We talked about us being in trouble. We got a little stubborn here with the market pulling down. We thought we could withhold a little bit of LVS, but we could not. So that is fine. Yeah, let's look at some other names, guys. Netflix here. I see you guys talking about that one. Let's have a quick look at NFLX. Of course, everyone's favorite Netflix and chill situation. 437. I don't know what this wick was all about there, but we are pushing higher now as the market comes back. Netflix definitely a name to take here if you are looking long. Continues to be more aggressive than the market, up 3.4%. Watch out for a 438 break. Where did we close yesterday? We closed yesterday. Oh yeah, okay. Well, all the way down here, obviously 420. What was the high? 429. So we're well off here. I have to do a little bit more work on Netflix, but 438 looks like it might be something up here. What a great move from 429 today. Wow.
Yeah, I'm actually looking at L brands right now. So of course it had that crazy movement yesterday, the multiple halt situation, but it's making a bit of a level just above VWAP on a pullback here. So about 1050 is looking like what I'm going to try to use. If we can get any consolidation right here in this 15-cent range, I'll try to short this one off of that 1050, but I think you got to use a very, very tight stop. A bit of movement happening over in whiting, so I'm watching that one closely. If it gets back up to that 130, 135 range, that's when we're going to like it. Gap, we just added, we did not add back in at VWAP. We meant to, and we're going to go ahead and do that now. Our initial short was right here at 713. We like it just in that tight range between 7 and 713, working this downward trend. After a big move to the upside, about a 10% move, we're playing the retrace on Gap.
Okay, let's see if we can't make some real money here. We did get out of LVS there. Okay, Facebook right now is below this VWAP on a 1-minute chart, but that's okay. I still like Facebook's strength today, 1.66%. We missed this 184.50 break there. We did talk about that. It gets all the way to 187. Now it's coming down. I can't go long Facebook when I know that I have a Microsoft short coming through at 174. So watch out for this 174 break here on Softy. If this market does come back down, I was calling 2,800 back up here at 2,820. So we've come almost all the way back down to that one. Our Snapchat, we're still short here, guys. 1634. It's bouncing off 24. We'll probably take that 10 penny winner if that does happen again. Thank you, Valeria, for that refill of coffee. And we are now reloaded, if I can find that thing. But thank you, Valeria, with the Valeria Batman right there. Snapchat is bouncing higher. Maybe we'll wait for Microsoft to break and then take a long in Facebook instead. I don't know. I'll get back to you guys on that one.
Yeah, I'm just quickly looking at the crude oil contract futures here. Still up 23%, and it's just holding this 17 mark. So when I was mentioning looking for that move in XOM, if we don't get any kind of a bounce here, just too much consolidation right now, if we get any kind of a bounce, then we're looking at that 43.50 to the long side. But until we get it, we're waiting patiently with our stop order. We also have Brendan, who is also waiting patiently for happening now.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock we'll have a look at North American markets here. Just a heads up, at 10 o'clock, U.S. March home sales coming out. So watch some of the home builders might be moving around on that number when it comes out here. S&P 500 back to the upside, but has come off, as we've been mentioning, just 0.75% now. The Dow still in positive territory, 0.6%. NASDAQ leading once again, but again, off the highs, 0.8% here for tech stocks. The Russell, 0.99%, almost a full percent for small caps, back in positive territory also. Here in Toronto, the TSX, about 0.7%. We had energy stocks leading the way early on. A lot of those have kind of come off the highs, moving back towards the downside as well. Some of the cannabis names also strong today as well. I'll show you a couple in a second here. BOVESPA down in Brazil, 0.7% to the upside. There's that number, 15.4% new home sales in March. Exactly as expected. So down 15.4% versus a decline of 15.4% expected. Baytex Energy, if you like the little ones, lots of volume and lots of liquidity. BT in Toronto, 4.5% here, kind of holding where we opened this morning after the gap higher with oil prices. Suncor was the other one. Yeah, I wanted to mention this one has gone below its open, kind of rejected there once it did at 22.50. Got to go all the way back to 21.75 to get to where we were yesterday. So a nice look for Suncor still to the upside. I wanted to mention Enbridge here. Not as much of a gainer, just 0.25%. There was a huge seller sitting at 40.70 all afternoon yesterday. You can see tight consolidation here for Enbridge all afternoon yesterday, 40.70 to 71. We quickly got back below that level this morning and seems to be holding as resistance, guys. Still positive, but off the highs so far. Back to you.
Saw Brendan working into the long position in XOM. You did have a bit of a bounce on crude oil futures at 17, got about to the 25 mark. XOM holding VWAP basically every single time it's bounced down here. So I do like this one in front of 43. It's now starting a bit of an upward trend as the market is also looking relatively strong. A couple of people were asking here continuously about Whiting, your long 125. I can't reiterate it enough. It's just not going anywhere right now. But the potential, once it takes 135, it looks like, that's when it's going to be a hold. So I'm not getting out of my long. I'm actually looking we just did it right now. So Whiting 118 long, it's in the money, about 15 cents. Now that it looks like there's some juice to it, we can start playing some long pullbacks and hopefully get that break of the high of the day that we've been expecting.
Yeah, exactly. We're long into Facebook right now as well. I think hopefully the market can get back going. It does reject that 2800. Obviously, we're not there yet, but a nice little move back off of 2808. We do average into our Facebook trade right now. I'm just waiting for this 185 break. I just noticed Facebook was stronger, but it looks like it might fall down again. So some of these tech names today not going. We'll have to look at the NQ. We are falling back down. If we do get into, look, I mean, I have the Snapchat winner here, so the Facebook coming down is okay, but I still am waiting for that 185 break. Looks like it's going to happen right now. So it's not a big position. We're long at 185.40, so we will lose that 40 cents here on a 185 break. We are waiting for Microsoft to break that 174. It looks like right now Facebook will break that. We do have our LVSs going as well. So right now, Facebook and Snapchat, the only two positions that I have on. I do notice Roku there in the chat. I will talk about that in a couple minutes. Just going to look at some few charts there. 12-minute chart on Roku, guys.
Yeah, so with that little break on whiting, I'm just basically going to layer some orders here, or at least place some orders and try and get some more long here for the first time, I guess, in a little bit, in front of that little VWAP that it's been hanging around. So you had 125, which is pivot point. Still like that 120 is a bit of an out there. So we'll see if we can't work back into long position in whiting after already taking a couple of pullback trades on it. We'll try it for a third time and see if this one is also a charm, but maybe actually test that high and give us a better return than that 10-15 cents.
Yeah, 174.50 here, just looking here. We are now short, so we did get out of our Facebook trade, so we will right now flush ourselves down the toilet. The Facebook trade does not work out for us, as you guys can see. Breaks through 185, we get out. Now it's resisting 185, but watch out for these futures. A big move up and then a big move down. So that's going to create some good trading opportunities for us. We are now short Microsoft off that 174 break. So it's now 30 cents against us. No big deal. We're waiting for 174.50 or so to break on the top side. But right now, Microsoft to the short side and Snapchat also to the short side. Both right now not doing anything. We need this market to make up its mind and go one way. But we are short right now. Microsoft 174, 173.98. I do like it, but we need this market, guys, to start heading southbound if any of my shorts are going to go in. Do you have any longs there, Neil?
Yeah, Sean, I got two longs and a short.
Right?
I'm going to quickly put the position board on as you talk about it. I just realized I haven't done it. I'm going to throw it up very, very quickly here before we go to Brendan. I actually have gaps still short, 704. I should be trying to get a better price in front of 15s. Also, whiting, we added back into it, so 125 long. We got out of our 118s. We have a 43.80, 48 long in XOM as that goes to the upside with a bit of a bounce in crude oil. Brendan, what do you got?
Big rejection up here was positive, nicely positive. Big rejection up here, 161.50. Just came all the way in, about $2 on that last little pullback, but still up about 2% on the day for LLY. Was looking like it was starting to trend to the upside, but turning around, guys.
There you go. And I'll go slap shot action. There isn't any hockey going on, but hey, it's an NFL draft tonight, so if you're a football fan, you're probably excited. Just took some out on XOM. First quarter for about 10 cents here. See if we can extend the move. We go to the, let's go to a higher time frame on XOM, and you can see the nice run that it's been making. I apologize for that wick. So you are in a bit of a breakout past that 43, which we're looking at. Then it's been holding VWAP on the way up. So this is more of a trend trade. This is one where I'll be taking profits on the way up and looking for pullback opportunities. Hopefully not all the way to VWAP until we're out of more than half of it, but I would still try that as well, especially if we're above $17 a barrel. It's been a nice recovery in crude. I just wish whiting would go a little bit more than it is right now. And we're in the money on that 25 long, but it's just got to get past 135. It tried and snapped back the first time. If it goes again and snaps back as violently, I will take some more profit off, but it's been bouncing nicely off of VWAP, so we'll continue that trend in whiting.
Yeah, and I'm still, whiting was a fantastic long. My initial long there at the beginning of the day here, 120. That was a great break of the pre-market high all the way up to 142. Now it's bouncing around, so Neil's going to cover that one. Great job there. Okay, Microsoft is still... cancel that order. Microsoft, we're still waiting. We're still short here. I was waiting back in the 30s, didn't get a reload yet. So we will reload this to the short side. Microsoft pretty weak here. The market bouncing back. Microsoft not really going with it. So that's my cue right now. Watch softy to the downside through 174, guys. We do have an interesting level here. GBTC on Bitcoin going crazy a little bit here, up to 808. So we took an 8 break there and out a little bit on Bitcoin there. So we can see if that's doing anything. I am waiting for Snapchat to come back down as well. We're short 1634. What up, Ewick?
Another one I haven't mentioned for quite some time, guys. Cassava Sciences, 15.5% to the upside. Coming up to 6.5 here on Cassava Sciences. They secured a new $2.5 million research grant for their work, guys. So SAVA back to the upside.
Good job, Cassava.
Cassava. That's what we do know. You know what? Thank you very much. Sometimes you guys help us out. W. Russell Connor. I'm not sure what the W stands for. We'll call you Bill. Maybe it is Will. Either way, I was talking about L brands and looking for this retracement at 1050. I got a little sidetracked with XOM play and then, of course, Gap as well and whiting. So I did miss out on this one. It hasn't really gone yet. It still has a chance to take out this bottom at 1020. I think at this point, though, you're working off of VWAP and shorting in the 35 to 40 range and giving it to 50 as opposed to getting that fantastic price up at the top there. So we will take a shot. It probably won't be for as big of an amount of shares now that we've missed the move a little bit. XOM continues to go here, so I'm going to take some profit off for a 15-cent win. Hold on to half the position to catch that trend. Hasn't given me a pullback to take more shares to the long side, but we're going to wait for that very, very patiently. I can tell you what is going finally. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. Whiting here, 135. It tried to go again. I'll take some shares out. Arrow's up right now. It's been only longs on Whiting, which is a departure for me when I was trading it a few weeks ago when it was literally only ever going short no matter what it did, looking for pullbacks, breakdowns, but today it looks like it's very, very strong. If we can take out the top, I'm going to be hanging on to see if we can't get past that 150 mark.
Okay, we just did take also JP Morgan long here. We're long JP Morgan at 90.26. You can see a nice little in there on JPM. Now we're starting to take some out in the 30s. So JP Morgan to the long side. The only problem with JP Morgan to the long side is if that's going to work out, then my softie isn't. So I have one to the long side, a big name JP Morgan, and one big tech beast to the short side. So we'll have to see what happens. Banking long, tech short right now. JP Morgan's 12, 13 pennies in the money. We may take some of this off. I'm not making nearly as much on this one as I am losing on Microsoft right now. But here we go. JP Morgan, a nice little trade, guys. 90.25 all the way up to 90.45 right now. Quick 20 pennies on JPM. What's up, Brendan?
A bit of a late starter here this morning, guys. Co-Diagnostics, CODX, huge move from 13 all the way up to 14.30. Bit of a pullback here, but big buyer stepped up there around 13.25. Took this thing up about $1. Not seeing any news today on this name, but CODX very strong, guys.
Just took some more shares out on Whiting there at $1.40. It feels like every one of those key levels that you try to hold through, it's turning around off of those. So I'm going to take profit basically at every one of those places of resistance. It was 35 first. It was now 40. So of course we were just long at an average price of 125. Our last entry was 26. So you're going to catch a 14-cent win on that one. It's going to be a good trade 1, 2, 3 times, but still, the 120 gave you all the way to 143. I still think there's more juice to it. We talked about the short interest. If it takes out the top at some point, that's going to get pretty scary for some people. The other story, of course, is I'm long both these names here. XOM, better company, obviously. Bit of a different play because it's not 56% short, obviously, but it still goes to the upside. We got 43 long here. I talked about that break and pullbacks. VWAP would have been fantastic if you caught those pullbacks earlier. I waited for the breakout. We're now in the money, 30 cents here. I will look to take some more profit off. Still anticipating a bit of a pullback opportunity because crude, which you always have to make sure you're watching, it's not going to be a direct correlation, is not making a gigantic bounce. It is moving to the upside, nice trend here, but you want to make sure you're taking profit on the way up. So we're going to go ahead, arrows up, and take 30 pennies on another load on XOM. Been a fantastic trade in both Whiting and XOM to the long side here. My gap short, doing literally nothing. At some point, if it doesn't move, I have to reconsider the price action here. But for now, let's go to Brendan and upgrades and downgrades.
Do it.
Hey guys, yeah, we've actually looked at a couple of these already this morning, but here we go. Upgrades and downgrades. CMG, we talked about Chipotle there getting an upgrade today, but we saw that weakness come in right off the open, took it back below where we were trading yesterday afternoon on CMG. GPS down here, another one in negative territory, but catching an upgrade so far today. Las Vegas Sands, the big winner. I'll show you that one in a second. Biogen, yeah, we mentioned that one. Couple of downgrades on Biogen today. In negative territory there. Everything else pretty muted. L Brands, decent move back higher. Twilio as well back higher, even with downgrades on the day. Here's LVS, still 10% in positive territory. A lot of selling at the open here on LVS. Took it back to where we were in the aftermarket yesterday. Looks like 44 to 44.5. A bit of an area here for LVS. Got to get back above 45.5. To kind of get going to the upside, I feel, for LVS, but moving higher after that positive news. Yeah, here's Biogen. Really hasn't done much. Had a gap down on 2 different downgrades, but just holding in this range, 292 up to about 295 for Biogen. Decent sell volume, though, behind this, but a bit of a buyer down around 292. Guys, back over to you.
Thank you very much, Brendan. And somebody said Whiting to the moon. You're absolutely right about that. I just took some shares out at 149, so we did it at 26 long. It'll be a 23-cent win, sort of replicating the earlier move. It's a great upward trend. We talked about this being a bit of a squeeze play this morning. The position that's not working for me is going to be this gap short. Pigs get slaughtered. I literally hit that one when I was talking about gap. pigs getting slaughtered. I had a nice little retracement play here, and rather than just taking the win and then reassessing, I tried to catch a breakout through 7 even, which is a price I liked. We now are working this one at about 704 as an average price and change. I'll give it to 15s. It's actually holding up a heck of a lot better than I was anticipating in terms of strength. It's basically at evens on the day. It closed at 711 yesterday. It's at 711 right now. I'll give it to 15, and then we're going to be done with gap probably for the rest of the day, the way I'm seeing it trade.
1646. Okay, yeah, good play. I do like gap. I mean, we talked about what Macy's could do yesterday, and it was big time. So here we go. Microsoft now, we've taken a little bit off here. Was a little bit nervous about that play. We still are short 173.98 right now, hoping for a downward move, and here it comes right now in softy. So we did take off a third of our position up here. So that was for about an average of about 10, 11 cent loser now on Microsoft for the first third. So now we'll wait till about a 173.70 or so if we can get all the way back down here. Microsoft already back into the money now. Obviously, we took out a third for about an 11-cent loser. Now we're in the money 11 cents on 2/3. So a good little move downside now in Microsoft. Let's see if we can't capture some of this. My JP Morgan still holding out though. So we'll drop some here before 90.50. Get out of some of this long. This is a 25 penny winner as well right now on JP Morgan. So we're going to watch that and as well watch Microsoft. I have a couple positions right now. Snapchat as well, still holding up right now. What's up, Ms. V?
Hey guys, welcome everyone who just joined our live trading show. We are live every day from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So subscribe for our channel to receive notifications when we are back on air. Also guys, someone on chat asked if are Neil and Sean for real give to you cool names for free, like winner names for free? The answer is yes. There is enough money on the market for all of us, and we are trying to build a trading community. Also guys, we're preparing educational series for you, so please subscribe for our channel and support trading community, and also hit the thumbs up. Let's reach 400 likes as usual, or maybe more before the end of the show. Back to traders.
Maybe more. Definitely more. Come on, guys. We have a great community here. Like I said, shout out to our Adam and Kevin, who are doing a great job in the chat, hopefully answering some of your questions. I'm long and whiting in XOM, as you guys know, but Oxy is the one that I'm the least bullish on, and you can see here relative weakness in Occidental. So when this turns, if this turns around in crude, it's going to be Occidental that I'll jump into the short, but I'm not going to be sitting here long one and short the other ones. We'll wait for an actual turn, wait for us to be out of XOM, which is still in the money, about 40 pennies right here, so a nice little trade. But that's the idea. It's only gap that's not working out for me, which is a bit of a shame.
XOM's great. I mean, I love trading XOM, and we should have probably re-looked at that. Good thing Neil did. I've stayed away from the oil after WLL. I don't know why. Oh yeah, this is why. It's Microsoft time, baby. I wish we did not drop some up here. Microsoft's by far my #1 stock since we've been doing this show, and the carnage continues. Explode the money. Hopefully you guys were talking about you wanted the trades before I took them. Well, there's Microsoft right there. 174 break. Cash them out in the 60s and the 70s here. Let's see if we can't continue to go downside here on Microsoft. We're getting a little aggressive though on the S&P 500. I told you Microsoft was weak. I was not expecting this kind of a move considering the future's not doing anything. So I think we got Microsoft here. Let's just wait to see. We've cashed out. Now I have a third left. So a third out up here and a third out down here, leaving me with a third. So we're going to wait to see if that works. That's pretty good math there. We'll wait to see. JPM, we did get almost all of them out here. It resisted 90.50. So in at 90.26, bang, 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 out all the way up here. We have direct market access. So you're not going to be able to trade a lot of the names the similar way that we are. We go in and out. We get paid to trade if we're adding liquidity. So if you're paying like, $10 a trade or $5 a trade, it'd be expensive to take this many outs, but still a 25-cent winner there on JPM. A nice little scalp long there to take for the win on that name. Microsoft all the way back up again, back to 174. So let's regroup on this one and see what we can do. But Microsoft has already been a cash register today. What's up, Bren?
Another earnings name here, guys. Hershey Chocolate. Yeah, that company down 3.5%. Thinly traded, just sitting here right now at 138. It's been down here already once, but definite support around 138 if that breaks. Look out below. Hershey earnings were bad, obviously, but only 3.5% so far, guys.
Man, Hershey's. Okay. I
Thanks
didn't even realize
I'm looking at UAL, just sort of having a quick look at this one. Very, very tight relative relative range. It hasn't really broken out. Still up 1.7%. The market's trying to get its juice together. I thought with this 26.35 we could hold above and really take a run at 27 even, where that flush happened yesterday. It just hasn't quite gone yet, but I can tell you what has, and I talked about it in the chat there, trailing my stop in Whiting. Now that we've taken out 150, I was going to trail it to about 140. I will move my trail up to about 145. I want to lock in some profit. If it's a failed break here, I don't like what the pullback could be. So Whiting again running. XOM still basically in the money, 30 cents. We did get 40 on a little bit there, but Whiting is the bigger move here. It's up 80% on the session. Man, this thing was literally 20 cents just days ago.
I cannot believe Whiting. I was really happy with my out there where we got it 42 or 43. But okay, we reversed Snapchat to the long. So right now we're long Snapchat, 1659 right now on Snapchat. It's had its little run at the bottom here. So we decided to take a long right now, 1658. We bust that long. Let's wait to see. I've gotten out in the 60s here for like 3 or 4 pennies. But now we just take some out 64. Let's let this thing go. We've done a little bit of work on this. I think we can get up to 1670, 1675 or so. So Snapchat for the win right now and moving to the upside. Snapchat long 1658. I do like that one. Our Microsoft is still bouncing around here, guys. So we're going to have to wait on that. Look at the futures, though. Right back to 2820. Highs of the day here on the S&P, guys. Not sure what we're up on the Dow, if I can have a quick look. 250 points. So nice little day here for the market.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit impatient with the UAL here. I mean, it could either break this 35 or give me an entry point around VWAP. I thought we'd have that breakout to 27, but it's Whiting that's going. We're now at $1.60. I got 126 here. It was a fantastic breakout play. I'm gonna just start trailing this one. I talked about trailing it to 140. I'll trail it to 150 now on a kind of pullback, looking to see how far we can go, because it's gone parabolic here, up almost 100% on Whiting Petroleum. Unbelievable move to the upside. And again, we're short-term trading here. Being long is not an endorsement of the company. It's just the price action that we're playing, and this is getting squeezed to heck, Sean.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that was the squeeze play was early on Whiting for sure. Wow, all the way to the top side. Yikes on that one, and we continue to go on that. Snapchat continues to go. We're getting some out at 65 here, and we are out of our Microsoft. That does bust all the way back up here, passing this VWAP 174.30. So Microsoft is basically, believe it or not, a flat trade after all that. So we should have got out some at the bottom, but we didn't. Instead, we now ride Snapchat 1659. This is the position that we have on, and we also do have JPM long as well right now, guys.
Yeah, good idea. I'm going to throw out the position board to let you guys know what's happening, and it'll be shy of one position here. And which one is that? It's going to be Gap. So I am now only long. Gap did not work out. The first short gave me 10 cents. The second short loses 10 cents, so 11 cents. I'll actually be down on Gap at the end of all of this. And we do have that long in XOM, of course. That's in the money, about 40 cents. But the bigger one is Whiting, 126 long. That's 32 pennies in the money here. I'm going to trail that one now to I think 150 or so. But it is also time for a small cap recap. I need to get into some of these. Brendan at the big screen.
Yeah, not a ton to look at in small cap world. Whiting, obviously a good one, moving higher today along with oil prices. We'll show you a couple of these though. CPAH, little electronics maker or software maker that we were mentioning in the pre-market, significantly higher. I mean, it's still up 52% and has come off more than $1. So nice little opportunity. Wanted to start with this one simply because if you joined us in the pre-market, we were saying this thing very, very strong and kind of above significant levels. But one thing that I like to see when you get these trending moves to the upside into the open is this big, ugly red first candle. If you get that big, ugly negative candle, that's go time to the downside for me anyways. I was willing to fade this thing all the way back up into 410, 420, and then look for a continuation move to the downside. Didn't even give you that. Had to be a little bit aggressive there to catch this on the short side, but a nice move. Just pointed out this high over here in the pre-market, which was 360, so I took most off at that high, still holding a little piece of this, so a nice move for CPAH. But when you get those really strong ones going into the open, look for that big reversal candle and then start to fade it. IMMU, yeah, I mean more of a mid cap, but not a lot going on in small cap world today. Nice fade as well. Again, big, ugly red candle off the open. Look for the retracement kind of fade idea, still holding some of that. That thing's very thin, moving dollars at a time, guys. A couple of opportunities for you today. Back over to you.
And they're continuing to move upside, guys, and it's going to be to the moon, like we keep saying. It's XOM on its way to 44 even. If we gave you the 43.50 break, you could have been looking at crude basing off of $17 a barrel. You could have been watching the opening range top. You could have been watching 43.50. All of those things we mentioned to you. Now we're breaking up towards 44 even. That's what I'll probably look to see if there's rejection and then take it out in front. You can always play a breakout. You can always play a pullback. Lots of liquidity, of course, in an XOM. Whiting is holding up around 160, so I've moved my trail to $1.50. We'll see if we can't lock in about 25 cents worth of profit. Out of that gap, like I mentioned, unfortunately, that one didn't work out for us.
Gap didn't work out. Okay, yeah, Gap's that's one of those tricky plays for sure. JP Morgan now taking out 90.50. So you guys know we are still long this one, 90.26. So a nice little 25-cent winner now on JP Morgan. Now moving back to the upside as we go. So JP Morgan now, I don't know. I mean, I still think we can get 90.80. That's that initial call that we made, especially with these futures going up. Let's park an order right around in the middle of this big candle here, 90.70. We topped off there a couple times, but right now JP Morgan looking like a pretty sweet play now to the north side, for sure on JPM, guys.
Yeah, and the market booming to the upside as well. So, you talk about the little recovery in oil I just mentioned. NASDAQ making a fresh high on the day and busting through that 87.50 level just moments ago. And also you have the ES, that's of course the S&P 500 futures making a move through 28.20. So fresh highs. We're trying to test that 44 in XOM, and this is what we're looking at here. Decent amount of shares that are sitting on the offer at 44. If it rejects here, I will take it off and then maybe look for a break through that price. So it does test the first time. We'll see if we can't get some shares out here for that over 50-cent win and then reevaluate. Brendan, what do you got for us, buddy?
Gold miners showing a lot of strength today, guys. If you want to have a look at the entire group, GDX up about 16% on the session. Here's a little one, 350 Harmony Gold, 16 as well, 16.5% for HMY. But that whole group very strong today, guys.
Yeah, great look there, guys. And look, we mentioned a couple of times already, there'll be a few new faces on the chat here, and a couple of those guys are Adam and Kevin giving fantastic advice. Lots of trading experience between the two of them. Normally they would be on the trading floor behind us. As you can see, we're doing our social distancing. You can see a lot of empty spots here. Hey, if you're ever in Toronto and you want to trade with Day Trade the World, you can always come to our floor and try it out. But, I got Sean over in the corner. Usually we're side by side. That's what we're working with here. But guess what just happened? Slapshot action on XOM as we just took it out for over a 50-cent win, and then it breaks at 44. So I'm hoping for a failed break and then a pullback, trapping some of those guys that would have just gone long on a break of 44 and giving you a re-entry opportunity in XOM. We'll see if it happens. It's so strong, it just might not.
Yeah, XOM has been a great stock for me the last couple of days. I don't know why I'm staying away from a lot of these. But JP Morgan, guys, Wheel of Fortune time right now. 90.25. That was the break. Here. Bang! So there it is, guys. Slap shot. I told you we'd go to the middle of this candle. That's exactly where we're at right now. What a move here on JP Morgan. A clean 50 cents, well documented for you guys on a 90.25 break here. Gave this one to you, went against us, really never. And now we go right back to the top. That 90.73 there was the top of that JP Morgan. I think we'll put an order now to get out of that one and we'll be done with it. But slap shots all around here on JPM. I am still looking for some more. Yeah, Joseph Mendoza there. Bang, bang on that one. Yeah, I see Bitcoin going as well. We will look at that in a minute, but here we go. JP Morgan back to the top side here. These futures keep going. I think I'm going to hold the rest. I only have 20% of my JP Morgan left, but we will wait to see if it can take out the top. I'm happy with this one. JP Morgan for the big time cowbell winner, guys. Neil's crushing it as well today. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's been a big day. Hit the like. We're doing this for free. I see a comment there about being newbies. How do you keep up? Yeah, look, it is tough. Neil and I over 35 years on the desk here with Brendan as well. So, we're used to making a lot of trades. I already have 174 fills. Like, what the hell is that today? So a lot of fills today. As here goes JP Morgan back up to the upside. Big time winner raining down today, guys.
Guys, I'm looking at IMMU, and look, I hope you guys were tuned in for that 29 break. It was tough to get, so I would be surprised if anyone was able to get a lot of shares on that move to the downside. It did make this consolidation here at 28.50. You know, it just never gave me the opportunity to get in past that 29 even. It's now giving you almost exactly that retracement. 26.34 was about the price we thought we'd get it to. It's getting very, very close to that now. So at this point, what you're probably looking for is to see if there's any bit of a bottom made here. It's a strong enough market that IMMU, if it can base out a little bit, could be a nice retracement play. It's a little early for that for me. I like that closer to lunchtime, but it's now on the radar after having missed out on the short. Keep an eye on IMMU. There's a lot of opportunity in this name.
I mean, opportunities abound right now. Brendan with a little note there. Paris ignores EU calls to lift export ban COVID-19 drugs. So might be something there on COVID-19 drugs. Good post there, Brendan. Thanks for that one. JP Morgan still the one we have. And we have Snapchat, man. We're still this baby long here. We've taken lots out. It didn't break the top. This is why I have so many fills today. We take it long here. When it doesn't go, you get a rejection here at 70. And now we'll wait. I was actually waiting for this 40 to break and it doesn't. So we'll wait. We'll get out of Snapchat if 40 does break back down to the downside. But right now we are looking to see what Snapchat can do here on the downside. We did take a little bit of GBTC here long, breaking through 814 and out up here. Now a little bit short. Bitcoin, I don't know what Bitcoin's up today, but GBTC up 7%, doing 2 million shares. So there is some trading opportunities there, guys.
Yeah, I'm just looking back over at Smile Direct, and I don't want to get too far away from it. It's a bit of a decent upward trend here. We missed one shot at it. I don't want to miss it breaking its opening range top. You have the pre-market high and opening range top pennies away from each other. That's a decent setup for me when it does go. You can see on the daily chart, it is rounding out into further breakout territory through that same price. You can go back to late in March. That same 6 even to 610, 615 mark is going to be a good break here. So locked and loaded on Smile Direct. It's not quite there yet, but you guys want to hear these plays a little bit early so you can get involved. That's one that we're looking at here in Smile Direct. It's one of those names that I feel like every time there's a setup, I'm missing the trade. So not today, hopefully on Smile Direct. See if we can get that through the high of the day.
Smile Direct, damn it, that was one that I missed in my own portfolio there. Damn it, I wanted Smile Direct to the long side here. Snapchat's not really doing anything. If you guys have any other names to throw at us, give us it in the chat. Thanks to Kevin and Adam joining us today. We talked about them coming through. 2 traders that we have obviously on our floor here in Toronto. We're sitting on a trading floor here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and we normally have about 25, 30 traders that have been trained up here to trade, and now unfortunately with the social distancing, we say what's up to them from abroad, and hopefully they'll be able to come back soon. Oh, we are ready for, is it Valeria? Brendan, okay, what's up, Brendan?
Yeah, real quick, guys, another retailer here. Just wanted to mention this one, American Eagle, of 1.3% to the upside today. Huge negativity on this one yesterday, all the way down to about 670. We're back above that area now, moving higher on decent volume. Overall, the group very negative, though. Yeah, we're going to go over to the TV now and touch base with Valeria.
Hey guys, hopefully your trading day is going fine and we're being helpful and entertaining. I know that a lot of traders beginners watching our show. So guys, we are preparing an educational series for you. So stay tuned and subscribe for our channel. The best is yet to come. We're really new to the YouTube, so help more people to find out about our great live show. Share a link with your friends, hit the thumbs up and subscribe for our channel. Also, to be even more helpful, I pick one question I like the most and ask it directly to traders. So Lucy Gamer is asking, what does the B and S means on the ticker information on the screen? And guys, I would like you to talk a little bit more about lower third of the screen so our new viewers know what's going on. Back to you.
Yeah, that's a fantastic thing there. So when you see you're going to see symbols throw up at the bottom there. Some of it is going to be our last trades and some of it will be our position. So that's the thing that you have to consider. I am long and whiting. You just saw that there. You're going to see the profit roll by at the bottom. That's going to be each individual fill that you catch, the amount of growth in terms of pennies and dollars that you made on that individual name. Worth keeping in mind, when it shows the last trades, there was a second ago where Sean was short in Microsoft and someone was saying, is that a buy there? I thought he was long. Well, when he covers that short, he has to buy it back. That'll be a B. If it's in the last trades, he's still in a net short position. It's just simply showing the last buyback. So make sure you're looking at the last trade or versus the actual position to understand what is going on. I hope that helps. We'll try to also verbally let you guys know before and after all of our individual plays here. I'm just noting Occidental pushing through the top. I know some of you were looking at it. I've just covered my whiting myself, so I'm going to go with fireworks for this trade. It's been a fantastic one this morning. We kind of knew that, like, it's low-hanging fruit to say Whiting was going to be heavily traded today after the move it made in the afternoon yesterday, but it is pulling back in. I had a trailing stop for this reason once it got to $1.50. I'll give it another shot if it gets to VWAP and bases out at $1.35. We'll probably try one more long again. I actually find myself flat right now with the market running to the upside. XOM giving you 44s if you tried it, and thank God I got out of that gap. If we'd gotten stubborn with that one, that could have been really, really ugly.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that as well. We do have, look, I did want to shout out here, if you can see on my Twitter here, shout out to Chris Vermillion here from the Technical Traders, really enjoying his time watching us, as well as a nice little tweet there. We love having Chris on, so knowledgeable. Tech Traders. Check him out on @TheTechTraders here on Twitter. Great little guy here to come on the show. Thank you so much, Chris. Big friend of the family. He's talking about us exciting him back into day trading, and that's great. We do like to hear that, and it's been a profitable little run for us here on Day Trade the World. That's the software we're using. We do get a lot of questions from you guys. We're tradertv.live. Check us out. Hit subscribe. Hit like. Get those updates every day. As long as these markets are moving, Neil and I, Brendan, we love this. We have a passion for it, if you can't tell. But we'll be back here every single day. And don't tell this to my wife, but I don't even really like weekends because the markets are closed. Close your ears if you're listening to this one, my love.
Too late. you gotta say earmuffs right before, but either way, that's perfectly fine. Look, if you like I always say, man, if you find something that you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life. And a man who is always working hard, giving us all the news, Brendan, what do you got, buddy?
I'll stand by you on that comment, Sean. Friday definitely our least favorite day of the week around here. Just want to mention Harley Davidson, a prior guest on this show. Hog here up 4% on the day. Just broke 19, guys. Thinly traded, not a lot of volume, but they reported earnings that were better than expected, guys.
Hog, huh?
You know what, Callaway here, you're talking about holding on to Whiting. Just, look, I got out on a pullback, but look, if you're in where I think basically everybody would be, where we're talking about was the 120 originally with Sean, the pullback trade to 125 and 120 again, and then 125 off VWAP, you're deep in the money here. There's not a wrong answer. I mean, look at my exit here. I got wicked out on a retrace at $1.50, and look at it bouncing off that level. So it could go another 10, 20%, and I'm sitting here holding nothing, and you have a bigger win. There is no wrong answer when you're taking profits, in my opinion. However, you can always learn from every single execution you take, and I'll certainly learn from this one if it goes to $2.
Yep, Microsoft breaking now back above 174.65. We take that little long as it's broken and back above some of this consolidation here. So we hit Microsoft to the long side right now. We are JP Morgan is running to the long side, and I actually do like Boeing here as well to the long side. If we could break through 140 here on a nice little move up in the futures, pulling back down right now. But I do like these longs that we have on board now. JP Morgan back to day's high, so we rained down money on that one. You guys know we're still long at 90.25 into this softy though right now. Doesn't look like this one wants to go. We'll have to wait for it to get to the back to the top side again. Microsoft's gone against me a few times today before working out, so hopefully that happens again here. Check your stop orders. Make sure you don't get into too many shares here if you don't want them, guys. Let's go.
See, I love when Sean reminds me of that, because when you have a good day, like I say, when you have a stop order to the downside and you take the winning trade, you probably have that stop still sitting there, cancel it. I've had that problem before. We've talked about United Airlines here trying to break through the pre-market top and the opening range top. 26.48, 26.50 is a break for me. I know some of you guys have been looking at it for a long in front of that. I wasn't able to catch an entry around that VWAP 25, so I will start this one as a breakout at 50, give myself some room back to VWAP to maybe catch a trend to the upside in this fantastic market. Brendan, what do you got?
NTAP, guys, up about 1.8% here. NetApp, they were issued a new patent in the U.S. for some software that they're working on. So back to 40.50. Huge move down with the overall market over the past few weeks. But NetApp clawing its way back to life as well, guys.
Thank you very much, Kevin, of course, noting that he already has the better position in UAL. That's going to happen to you sometimes, guys. Like you trade multiple names, and certainly you can miss out on something. I think that's a good one through that high of the day, 26.50. I want to check back in. Of course, I am flat on all the oil names, but you always want to make sure you're tracking what is going on in the crude oil market. It is still incredibly strong here. I'm seeing it press up to 18. I'm actually looking at XOM, and I took it off in front of 44. Interestingly enough, XOM hasn't really gone any further than that. It's starting to consolidate a little bit here. So maybe that 18 level on crude is going to be an interesting one for us, and you're not going to get a bigger breakout until we take out that level. So watch out if you're long any of these names. Maybe excuse Whiting because that's a bit of a short squeeze. But if you're long any of those other names, maybe Oxy for whatever reason, or if it's XOM, look for that 18 break. If it goes, maybe re-enter into that long, or hold on to whatever you have. But if it fails, I'd probably be taking profits on XOM.
Yeah, XOM is a good one to take profits on. It can bounce around with that oil. Oil now up 30%, guys, today. Wow. And if you want to know why Whiting is going, look no further than that reason right there as well. Obviously, it's probably getting squeezed. Okay, UAL was another name that we were just talking about. Neil was as well with Kevin there on the chat. 2650, it bounces all the way up to there and then stops. So I like the 2650 break, obviously, on UAL. And here it comes right now. We'll see if it does break that coming upside with the futures now looking to knock on heaven's door here, 2830. If we can break that, we'll go upside there. Who's seeing knocking on heaven's door there, guys? If you want to put that up on the chat, you'll win something. Maybe one of these beat down trader mugs. Where are we here? One of these ones. Oh, there we go. This one this one's been in the wash too many times. Hopefully
that means it's game used, man.
Yeah,
that makes it even better.
Signed and everything. We'll get Valeri to sign them for you guys. JP Morgan now upside. Microsoft hanging around at this level. Brendan, what's up?
Sean has a Sharpie standing by to initial that one for you. L Brands, guys, more news out here on L Brands. I mean, we already know, but they've officially now received notice from Sycamore Partners that they will be backing out of that deal. We already looked at LB moving higher on the day, but official notice now that deal is dead, guys.
There you go. So the official notice, that's what we're talking about. L Brands with actually a secondary push just got through, to 11, sorry, not through $11. I'm looking for a retrace down to that 1050 mark we were watching before. I still haven't gotten triggered into UAL, so it looks like it's running to a little bit of trouble here, trying to get through the top. That, of course, is, no, actually hasn't. We're right here. It's holding the top end of the range. It's probably suckering me into one of those short in front, reverse to the long side, where I'm basically looking to risk a few cents and scalp it to VWAP here. That's one of those little short-term trades that you're probably doing on a day trade basis rather than trying to hit the home run. So I'm not going to go ahead and do that. I do like this one to the upside. When it breaks 50, I will be triggered in. I'm going to leave it and try and be a little bit more strict. Smile Direct, it's right here at $6. I've been patiently waiting for that 610 break, and I'm getting rather impatient. I'm actually going to see if we can't work into this one in front of VWAP and play the trend because it's been such a nice one here. I think it's an opportunity to get in. I'll take a small, we like to call it teaser position. I don't know, whatever you call it here. Leave yourself some room for the breakout trade. Leave yourself some room to add in front of VWAP. But Smile Direct has been that one that I've been missing out on a daily basis.
Okay, UAL, we take long. Yeah, Smile Direct, we always miss out on that one. I don't know why. UAL, we go long here on a 50 break, but look at this. 51, a little bit of an iceberg order. So what that means is it doesn't want to break. Lots of size here. So these orders keep getting hit and then resisting. 10 million shares. We are long 2651 here on UAL. So we're going to take that one, see what happens. We're also going back over here to go flying again. We do have Boeing long. We're testing this little one, breaking through here. If it doesn't, if it breaks through 139 and then 138.90, we'll get out. But right now, Boeing to the long side as well as UAL. Two new positions for me, guys.
Yeah, you guys are asking a lot about a Whiting here, and I'm kind of sitting here wishing I hadn't dropped it. It's having some trouble getting through 165, and you're seeing it stair step to the upside. Now that you look at that sort of opening range top, and whatever you want to call it, whether it's 140, 145, I would be more apt to be trailing this one and just sort of seeing where it goes. If you go to the daily chart, there isn't a heck of a lot in terms of obvious resistance till you get to $2 even, and that's the number that I threw out earlier. I ultimately got trailed out in an attempt to hold it up to that price. So, whether you give it to break even and get a little more aggressive depending on how much profit you've taken, I don't think there's a wrong answer. I got triggered into UAL there as well, Sean, so that 2650 break, we're going to have that one, and Smile Direct, we're also going to try and get added to that as well. A name that we haven't talked about yet, I'm just throwing to Twitter here. I'm always looking for relative strength and weakness, and with the market booming to the upside, I got to pay attention to the fact that Twitter is in a bit of a downtrend and holding below VWAP and bouncing to the downside each time. So if the market rolls over, I'm actually looking at a Twitter short here at some point. Maybe it's going to be through 28, but I need to see the futures slow down and base out a little bit. Once that happens, we'll look for a turnaround play in Twitter. Relative weakness, I'm just noticing. But right now, it is time for Brendan and our sector watch.
Hey guys, yeah, we're still nicely higher across the board for the S&P. We'll have a look at what is leading the market here. 1.5% overall for the market. Just seeing the Dow about the same, 1.55% at this point for the Dow. Front and center here, energy stocks leading the rally, leading things to the upside. Apache, Devon, Marathon, and Noble all at least 8% or more to the upside. Mentioned Apache early on this morning, now 15% for APA to the upside. Number of the other ones still, 5+% all across the board here. There's Oxy and Halliburton, 7% each to the upside today. But all about the energy stocks so far, leading this market higher. Shift your focus down here. Healthcare stocks also having a really nice day. Some of the equipment service makers, LH, UHS, HCA, all 4+% to the upside as well. So healthcare, energy stocks making up the biggest chunk of the gains today. Consumer discretionary stocks are higher as well. Here's the hotels. Yeah, LVS 11%. Wynn is 9%. There's Royal Caribbean 5.5%. Norwegian there as well, about 5% to the upside, lifting the consumer services group. L Brands, we mentioned, Expedia, KSS, and JW at all about 5% as well. So consumer discretionary stocks are higher. Industrial stocks, really nice day for the industrials group. CARR, TXT, FLS, and FBHS, all 5% or more into positive territory. One negative one here, GWW, that was an earnings play, down about 3.5%. Way over on the other side here. Communication stocks in positive territory. These two, LYV and IPG, 8%, 13% respectively. Those were earnings plays as well. OMC also reported their 4% into positive territory. Material stocks, look at that. The entire group almost positive, 2.8% to the downside for VMC. That's really it. Everything else pretty muted. Tech shares muted today, although the NASDAQ is having a pretty good day. ADS and DXC here lifting some of the software makers. Real estate stocks and utility stocks are negative. Overall, market about 1.5% still to the upside. Back over to Sean.
Very much. Yeah, we'll hit the cowbell winners for you guys as well because, well, right now we have UAL. That's not doing anything. It's 3 cents in the money. Who cares? JP Morgan, though, guys, this is the slap shot for you. We gave this trade to you. If you're only going to take one trade today, hell, why not take this one? $90.25. We are now $1 in the money. I see a lot of talk about some Canadians here. So Canada for that one. We are now ripping up here. This is a clean $1 now on JP Morgan. So they may charge you bank fees, but we just make that money right back. Thank you very much, JP Morgan. Nice little run up to the upside. We still have 20% of this trade on, like I keep telling you guys, so that's a big winner. Our friend Mr. Softy goes to the upside here off this break as well. So this is, again, not a huge winner because we got out of some here breaking through 174.50. So once again, we don't hold Microsoft long enough. I'm going to basically be flat on this one today. The moves aren't super clean. We do get some bust ups here, but I do drop most of it at 175 for about a 30-40 cent winner on that one. So just to give you guys an update there, UAL, JP Morgan, Microsoft, Snap, and Microsoft, and that's it. Yeah, 4 trades all alongside right now. Maybe we'll wait for a pullback, but I'm loving right now what's happening in these S&P.
Yeah, the market's still going up here. We're getting to that first resistance point. Good note there, Kevin. Thank you for throwing that out there, the 28.40. I did get into that Smile Direct on this little trend move up. I am still looking to maybe add to it on a further break. I also like it at VWAP. Right now it's just 603 to the long side. Also UAL here on that 26.50 break. It just hasn't really gone anywhere. I think it has decent upside. It just hasn't really moved too much. A couple of people have been asking about Carnival, and it's like, wow, haven't even looked at Carnival Cruise for 2 days now, which is ridiculous, as good as a day trade as it's been. That is actually going. So what I was hoping would happen on a break at 26.50 on UAL happened here on a 12.05 break on Carnival. I'm not going to necessarily be looking to short any kind of retracement on these plays. It's just not going to happen. For me, my target out in UAL, I'll look to get some of it out in front of 65 to 70 and then try to run it to 27. And when we looked at the daily chart on UAL, we looked at the chart of the week on UAL, which I'm going to bring up for you guys in a second here. One of the things I did notice is it has a lot of room to go here. This is the daily. Of course, you can see possible breakout territory on a swing trade to 34. What I'm more concerned with was this level yesterday, right here in front of 27, where it had an absolute flush. That's a lot of room to gap back up. If we had lots of consolidation around 26, 26.10, and now you're getting that breakthrough. So a move of 50 cents higher seems very, very reasonable to me, especially in a strong market.
A good look there. And one mistake that I have here, I'm going to once again flush myself down the hole on this one because I gave you this winner, and obviously my out was a little. I don't know what happened here, but look, we get long here, 139.22. We get out 138.80, so that's about a 40-cent loser before it rips up and breaks through that 140 that we were talking about. So Boeing was a good one. If you did take this initially with me, I did get out there. So I just want to let you guys know, no longer in Boeing, although we did talk about that. 140.50 was that, well, actually 140.40 was the top there. So we'll look to see Boeing again up 3-point-something%. These lights, it's not good to have lights blasting in your face when you have a little bit of a headache. So we are right now hydrating up today. So, these are those little water bottles. Hopefully we'll be selling something similar to this on our merch. Valeria will be signing them and sending them out to the first people that purchase it. That's going to be our promo. I don't know, I made that up. We'll discuss that later on. But here we go, guys. UAL, I see some questions about that one. It's heading to the south side right now. I did dump some on that break of 45. It resisted too many times up here at 55. We did talk about that. So I'm only going to take a 5-cent loser on 2/3. We're going to hold that other one to see if we get back to VWAP here, 26.30. But right now, UAL temporarily a loser for us if we drop 2/3 for a 5-cent loser there. No big deal, but I did have a little bit of shares there. So I didn't really want to take too much risk on UAL, but there's a nice little bid here, though.
Yeah, Sean, I was actually looking at the same thing. When it pulls back, I did like this 26.30 level, and that was a pre-market one initially, and it's still going to be a good one right here at VWAP. If it pulls back in and did bounce off it, I was actually going to look to be adding down there. That's why I left some powder in the keg, but it's not even going all the way, so I think that's probably going to be a good turn. I actually like Twitter. I just took this one to the short side as we reject that 28.40 level. And again, shout out to Kevin. Both Kevin and Adam, you're going to see on the chat, are usually on our floor here. They're going to be answering some of your questions, talking about that key resistance level on the futures. And if we turn around here, I don't want to be only net long in that kind of a situation. I talked about the relative weakness in Twitter so far in the session. I've grabbed a bit of a short position in front of VWAP here, 28.20. I'm willing to add to it and build it in front of 28.40. And this is in case we don't break 28.40. I have something I can hang on to the short side while I take off some of those longs.
Okay, I'm going to take XOM short here, breaking through 44.20 or so. You see there's a big little move up here on the upside of XOM, and then now it looks like we're trying to test this 44.20 level right now. So if that does break on XOM, I'm flat on it. I haven't made a trade all day. Beautiful move up here, riding VWAP all the way up. And then, once it breaks VWAP here, it's to the north side. So 44.20 here. Just to check out CL before we go quickly, M20 before we go back over to Brendan in 1 second here. NM, this is what we're talking about here. These are the crude oil futures. So you come on, zoom out. You can see a nice little move back to the downside now. 16.17 and coming back down. Still up though, 28%. What's up, Brendan?
Just having a look at Expedia here, guys, just breaking the top on big volume spike. Popped up on a volume scanner here. You can see why. $67 taken out on Expedia. They announced a whole bunch of cost-cutting measures that they're going to start to implement and going to look to save some money during this period. Obviously, travel getting hurt. But look at this, 9.3% for Expedia today.
Nice.
No, there's nothing wrong with a move like that. But I was actually just talking about in the chat there, Oxy, and this is the name that I wanted to be shorting on a kind of move back in oil. And so you see XOM pulling back. That was a long for me. Whiting is basically holding the top end of its range, but a big pullback already in Whiting, 214 even. Another place we can play a rollover. I'm already working a position in Twitter right now. I do think it's an opportunity here in Occidental. Sorry, not Whiting, in Occidental Oxy. We'll take some shorts here in front of the high of the day. Got to watch out for 28.40, of course. That's going to be that little breaking point. Also got to watch out for crude oil anytime you're playing this around that $18 a barrel.
Yeah, you sure do, guys. Crude oil, yeah, that's what we just called up there. Nice little move for crude today, obviously, but still up that nice little 20+% on crude oil today, almost 30%. So my XOM trade just remains pretty simple, guys. Look, we come down, we've tested it once here, this 20 level, before moving back up. I just don't know if crude's going to hold 29% today, but if it doesn't, then this short is a pretty nice one here. We'll see if it can come in. 44.20 breaking through down on XOM. So here's a trade that I'm giving you before it's even happened. So let's wait to see if 44.20 holds on XOM. If it doesn't, though, it's off to the races on that one. JP Morgan, just to touch back, we did get as high as 91.20. We've bounced now a couple times off 91 and change here. I'm going to use this ultimate bottom, 90. 90.90 as an out. If it breaks that, we'll cash in a beautiful 75-cent winner on JP Morgan, but I'm going to drop it, guys, if it gets below 90.90 here on JP Morgan. So just to give you guys a little update on where my out's going to be. We are ready, though, it looks like, at the big screen now with Brendan. Let's take this over.
Hey guys, yeah, it is currency time. Let's have a look at some money markets today. We're seeing some decent moves in a couple of areas. First off, yeah, the CAD, look at that. A full percent to the upside for our Canadian dollar, 71.3, was down around 70 yesterday and change. So a nice move back to the upside for the Canadian dollar. Obviously oil lifting our Canadian dollar back to the upside today. Euro is also positive. British pound is back to the upside as well. 123, almost 124 for the pound, about 0.5% in positive territory. Australia and New Zealand, big days as well. Australia's economy heavily tied to the gold, mining, and energy sectors as well. So getting a nice boost on that move in oil. Bitcoin here. I wanted to mention this. Look at the chart over here. Back above 7,400, almost 7,500 for Bitcoin. Looks like it's trying to break out of this little channel that we've been trading in for the past couple of months. So a nice little look there for Bitcoin, back to 7,500. It's been kind of hovering around 6,800 to 7,200 back and forth throughout the past couple of weeks. But big day, 6% to the upside for Bitcoin. Ethereum here, 3.5% to the upside as well. Speaking of Bitcoin, if you watch GBTC on the OTC markets, Jeff Mendel going to join us from OTC coming up at about 11:45 this morning. Let's go back over to Neil.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Just working that Oxy position. I sort of talked about getting out of waiting, and should have let that one run a little bit further, certainly. But Oxy turning around here, and the futures trying to turn around. We had a base out. Also, we had a rejection of 18 on crude oil, $18 a barrel. And I'm sort of seeing this range being made at the top of Occidental. It's going to be around 14.10 here in this 13.90 area. I have 97s short, certainly in front of 14.15. You probably want a better price, but I'm leaving some powder dry. So when if we get a rollover on a lower high here, I can add to my position. So that's kind of the idea I like to work with here. I'm going to give it to high of day. This is that time of the day where usually I'm trying to pick these reversal type plays. For shorting in oil, it's going to be Occidental for me. Certainly, you can also look at an XOM if that's something that you're interested in. Finally, Smile Direct. I mean, it's just one of these things where it's been that upward trend that I've been trying to play. I did take that starter position, not really giving you pullbacks to that 590, so I do have something at 603 here to the long side. Really very slowly getting going here. I do have a few longs and a few shorts, but probably a good idea to throw out the position board as we have a few things on right now. So I'm going to update it for you guys and show you what we're working with. Talked about Smile Direct. We have that at 603 to the long side. Still have some United Airlines at 47. That's only about 5 or 6 cents out of the money. Oxy, of course, short at 13.97. I'm going to wait to add to that one, and also have Twitter at 22s. I want to wait for that to roll over, hold 28.50, and see if we can't grab some more shares short. Relative weakness here. Hopefully, if we hold 28.40 on the futures. But right now, we're ready for Valeria. What do you got?
Hey guys, hopefully your trading day is going good. And guys, I wanted to tell you that you have a few reasons to subscribe for our channel. First of all, if we reach 10,000 of subscribers, you can receive this beautiful merchandise. We're also gonna make t-shirts, and you saw coffee cups of guys. Second of all, we are preparing educational series for you. We'll be explaining what's VWAP, what's long, what's short, how to trade. You don't wanna miss that. Also, we'll be sending out to our viewers stocks check watch lists. So it's very important if you want to know what we're going to trade for the day. So guys, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for our channel. We'll really appreciate that, and it will open for us more ways to be more helpful and entertaining for you. Back to traders.
Thank you very much, Valeria. All about hitting that like and subscribe if you like what we're doing here. And tune in at 9 o'clock every single morning. I mean, it's all about your preparation as well. Getting some of those key levels in, the stocks to watch. You're going to see a ticker down below. It's not the entire market. It's just what we are watching, what we think is going to be active. Those gappers, those stocks doing high relative volume. So that's what it's all about. But Brendan, as always, has a little something for us. What do you got?
Everyone's favorite ugly shoemaker, Crocs, guys, back to the upside after missing on their latest earnings report. Just breaking $22 here on decent volume being brought to my attention. So a nice little move back up for Crocs, guys.
I mean, are Crocs
You say
really
up?
shoes?
Yeah, they're not
mean,
shoes.
it's
I mean, I don't know.
Footwear Crocs.
Yeah.
But no, shout out to Crocs. Look, a lot of hospital workers, nurses, doctors, and stuff wearing Crocs. So maybe there's something there.
If you got a bad back and you don't want to walk on hard floors, they're not bad. Outside of that, I'm not sure what they're good for.
No, well, they're easy. That's the thing. You know, they're low maintenance. I think I've had my pair of Crocs. I wear them out when I'm going to barbecue out the back every once in a while. I think I've literally had them like my mother gave them to me. So I'm going to say like 20 years ago probably for those Crocs. And they're ugly red Team Canada Crocs. So we say, what's up to Team Canada?
Whoa. What do you mean ugly red Team Canada?
Well, now they're ugly. I don't even think the Team Canada little logo is still on them. So, but I just hit the Canadian flag, obviously. I've already bigged up Canada a couple times. And speaking about Canada, guys, we have one of the first, well, I think the first G7 nation to legalize this good stuff here. So we're going to wait to see 1508 now to the upside here. CGC, we like to talk about some of the marijuana stocks every once in a while, especially when we see Wee Batman in the building. You're going to see here breaking through. I only wanted to call this up because we've held off $15 here. So if you did want anything, CGC is Canopy, and you do have a little $15 level here that we've bounced off a couple times. Just a quick name there if you did want to look at Canopy at all.
What's the opposite of perfect out? We have like a perfect for a great out. I have a trailing stop here in Whiting, which is like the literal opposite of it. I was very happy to be able to take out some shares at 150. It was a great long at 126. 175, wow, shout out to anybody that is holding on to this this one, our good friend Callaway. I know you got this puppy here. 175. We are at $2 is that level that we thought we could get to, and it hasn't really found too much resistance on the way up here, guys. So fantastic move. The market is trying to rally towards that 28.40 that we've been talking about. My long is in United Airlines, and I feel like it has some room to go. It bounced off VWAP, and we took this one. When it bounced off that 26.30 and VWAP that we talked about, we did leave some powder in the keg to add back in on the way up. So our average price has improved a little bit. I'm going to try and do that again if we get another bounce, working this trend long, hopefully in United Airlines. However, Twitter, which I thought was going to be relatively weak, and we roll over from 28.40. No, not the case yet. So it is marching towards that sort of pivot 28.50 mark. I'm not going to hold this one past that. We have it at VWAP here. That's our average price. If it does reject at 28.50, we can add on the way back down, but I'm not jumping in front of the sword. I will only add to this position if it retakes VWAP to the downside in Twitter.
Twitter, yeah, I'm going to have to look at Twitter for sure off of some of that good Snapchat goodness from yesterday, up 30-something%. Wow, Snapchat yesterday was crazy. Okay, guys, I'm looking at Facebook here. I've given Facebook a ride a little bit today earlier for this loss, breaking through 185 or so. It's 186, topped out a couple times here on even some of these dark pool prints coming through. It looks like we do have Jeff Mendel coming on at 11:45 today on our Twitter. I don't know, is that still happening?
Yeah.
Today? Okay, good. So Jeff Mendel from OTC Markets coming through today. We'll talk about GBTC, doing lots of volume there. So shout out to Jeff, and I've taken a few trades on GBTC today. If my chart would go over there, there it is. You can see 3.26 million. This is a Bitcoin play. If you guys want anything, Brendan did talk about what was going on with Bitcoin earlier on today. But that's that name. I still have Microsoft long, Snapchat long. We'll review some of the positions when we come back from Valeria and her European update.
Hey guys, welcome to European Update. Europe is a pretty positive territory today. Britain is up 1.25%. Germany is up 1.8%. France is up 1.88%. Italy is up 1.69%, and Spain is up 0.85%, while Russia is up 1.45%. Some quick news from Europe. German Chancellor Angela Merkel says that that the end of coronavirus pandemic is not in sight yet, and we will have to live with the virus for a long time. Eurozone business activities hit another record low in April due to coronavirus, which is causing severe economic damages in the region. Lufthansa will allow passengers with cancelled flights to rebook them for free starting from April 20 until May 15th. That's all for today, and I'll keep you updated. Back to guys.
Lufthansa, yeah, good
Lufthansa
airline there.
The airline I don't like, and a good look, Sean taking some profits on UAL. It's one of those moves that we initially missed through 26.30. It's now going to break through VWAP, so the kill point's going to be right here at 25 for me. Once you break through VWAP, it's such a strong pullback, and we talked about this reversing in Occidental and Twitter. Those were my short plays if the market turned here. The long play was going to be United Airlines. It doesn't look like it's going to work, so hang on to shorts. And maybe add to them like I'm doing in Occidental and Twitter, and then get out of this once we break 25 on United Airlines. So it looks like that little pullback going to be the death of us. I think we had an opportunity to have a little loser, smaller of a loser, but when it bounced off VWAP, I got more confidence in the play. We'll see how it goes. It hasn't broken 26.25 yet, but it's looking like the shorts could win out here.
Yeah, I'm trying to find a name. I'm looking at my quote board here to try to find a name that we can short. That would be a good one for us right here. Yeah, we got out of UAL. And no, yeah, Neil, I did not even take any profit on that one whatsoever. I tried taking some out as that broke, but unable to. Let's take a look at Gap again. I know Neil was trading this one earlier, but I did not, was not able to step into it. Any key levels here. This is that little VWAP break. That's probably where Neil maybe was trading it here, and it doesn't do much down here around 7. I really thought that we were going to go lower. I mean, I wrote down 650 down here in the pre-market, but we do come back to the upside on Gap. Not great news. Retail I thought was dead. I guess not, but look at this, guys. 725 might be a decent break if this market does head southbound. So let's look to Gap at 725, guys.
Yeah, Brendan, I think has something for us.
A little small cap energy name just popping up on a volume scanner here, guys. CEI Energy, Camber Energy, CEI on the NYSE ARC exchange. 15% higher on the day with oil overall, but really hasn't participated in the move or trend move to the upside as some of the other names have. But CEI, big buyer there, guys.
All right.
Yeah, still looking at that Twitter, guys, on the pullback here. You are watching the futures try to turn around. It's more of a play here at that 28.40 level that Kevin was mentioning on the chat. And a shout out to both Kevin and Adam doing a fantastic job looking at this for us and answering all of your questions. But you're seeing this potential rollover. And, you know, I find myself in a couple of shorts and a couple of longs. Smile Direct, long side, still in that UAL, which didn't stop me out. So it did bounce off that 25. I never like using VWAP as an out, allow it to actually trade through there. So we are still in that one. It's short in Twitter. On a weakness play, we will be taking off our longs. It stops here if we roll over in the futures, and we're going to hang on to those shorts. And that's going to be in Oxy, and that's going to be in Twitter, the short side, and then a long right now in UAL and Smile Direct. Smile Direct, I'll actually potentially add to it one more time in front of 590. Just hasn't quite given me the entry yet.
290, 291 here. You know what? I don't actually mind this name, and I know Kevin was talking about this a little bit. I think it was, it was this morning he liked NVIDIA. Kevin, let me know on the chat here. Do you, come on NVIDIA, it's not .NY, it's .NQ here. I like NVIDIA breaking down below. If it loads, there we go, 290. It's happened a couple times here with some nice resistance. We are right at VWAP here at 290.35 on NVIDIA here as we go. Are you sure this light isn't brighter in my face today, guys? But 290 here coming to the downside. We're going to wait to see here on NVIDIA breaking down below. Guys, remember to hit that subscribe button. If you're watching us for the first time, we need to get to 10,000 before we can start doing a few more cool things here with the show, including merchandise and whatnot. So we want to get that out to you guys. NVIDIA breaking down below 290. Let me know if you guys like that there in the chat. I think it's a good play here, especially if these futures break through 28.25, guys.
Yeah, we're trying to roll over. I mean, I'd love to see us head to the south side. I like the positions that I have short in Twitter here and on Occidental pretty much every single time we get a turnaround. And I'm basically flat on Oxy, but I mean, Twitter is just rounding out very nicely here. Once it takes out 25 and we get this nice little push down, I think this one could really go to 28 even. Would be a nice little spot for us. Of course, it's probably bad for our UAL position, but it is what it is. Brennan, what do you got?
Another name just popping up here, guys. CCC, Clarivida Analytics. This, I believe, is all-time highs for this name. 2.5% on the day for CCC. Just in the past few minutes here has gone from 24 all the way up to 24.60 to all-time high territory, guys.
Yeah, I just want to say, add us all on Twitter. I just said add me, but add all of us. We're all the same. At Trader TV, Sean, at Trader TV, Neil and Brendan, and the show as well. We always are tweeting things out, and I see Neil going through a little bit of education there. And yeah, guys, if it's your first time, I mean, add us. We post some of the news and notes that we see after the show, and I haven't done a crazy amount of posting yet today, but I do like to post some of the charts that we've hit. You can review that. Join us on Twitter, guys, right now. If you can, go hit that like button. button and join us as well. So that's the trade here. Why I like this 290 break. Look, it's a well-structured trade for me. We do tip up here as high as 291.25 once and then twice again. So this will be about $1 worth, $1.25 or so worth of risk. It looks like we're going to get short very soon on NVIDIA, breaking down below this 289.90. If that does happen and we get a futures pullback here, I do like it. Kevin, NVIDIA at a key level here. I think you have a buy. Okay, yeah. I mean, look, I do like the buys in NVIDIA for sure. I am a bull by nature on pretty much every stock. I've been a lot of longs today, but I just wonder if the futures are a little exhausted here. We did have a big move yesterday. Now you're seeing this come in through today. And I just think that we can't, if we don't hold this 28.25, this will be a relatively short scalp, guys. If we can make a clean dollar on this, we'll take it. We'll wait for the ultimate bottom, which might be 288.50, but it looks like we're going to get into an NVIDIA short. And I will keep that in mind, Kevin. We're not going to hold this all the way back up here to 293. There's that little arrow tick down. And Neil, let me just run this quickly for everyone to understand what's happening at the bottom. You're going to see a little explanation now. This tick down, I'll blow this up here. This is a short sell. So what I mean now is we want the market to head southbound, or at least the symbol to start coming down. That's how we're going to profit. We've borrowed these shares from our broker, and now we have to sell them in the open market, which we just did, hoping to buy them back at a lower price. And I'm going to look for 289 and change down here to get out. We'll buy them back, and then we'll hold the rest for 288.50. But that's what a short sell is. You got to have the ability to go both ways because when a market tends to fall, you don't want to be caught long. So that's NVIDIA short right now, 289.89, guys.
Yeah, just watch out for oil trades here. I have, of course, that pullback trade in the Occidental off the high of the day. It's testing it right now at $14.15, but also you have crude testing $18 a barrel, and that's actually a lower high. So watch out for this one there. If it takes it out, it hasn't made a fresh high. It's a clean upward trend, and it's one of those things that I tend to do every once in a while, which is take the profits from the morning and roll it over into reverse plays. I do like Oxy preferential short if I'm going to play oil to the south side, so I don't mind the name, but you really got to watch out. If we break this 18 mark and we're still below the high of day, that's a decent sign for us, but it also means a danger is looming with this Occidental short. We're only out of the money about 9 cents here, so it's not a big deal. We're looking for 2 to 3 times that to the downside, but you have to watch the fundamentals here, and that's going to be the price of oil per barrel.
Yeah, there is some danger here always, guys. Whenever you're going short or even trading oil, especially with oil still up that 30% here today as we go. So watch out for anybody holding oil trades. I think that's a good one. I mean, they're a great thing to trade these days, especially with the movements happening. Okay, NVIDIA down to that level as well. We're waiting. You know, my out's going to be up here. I already put a stop order in, so 291.25 is the stop for oil, guys, or for NVIDIA, sorry.
Yeah, another name that we haven't really talked too much about here, and we're going to try and see if we can get back to it just a little bit, and that's going to be Whiting. And it's I know some of you guys are hanging on here. I think there was a question someone was asking in the chat about why $2. Essentially, just looking at the daily chart here, and it's going to be tough to see. But you did have on the way down, you had a couple of points of resistance at 2 even. Certainly for a couple of days back in late February. Sorry, that's just the price. The first one that jumped out to me if you got an extended move past 150, and here it is. And look, nobody's perfect. I had this one long side. I got trailed out here at a trailing stop at 150, and you're going to see it go. Callaway, shout out to you. I will throw the arrows up for your net as long as you have this 2 even break, because bye-bye Whiting. 140% short squeeze central on this day.
Yeah, tell me about it. Wow, Whiting. I thought we had a good winner on the open, but yeah, should have held that one, needless to say, as we go upside here on the market. And looks like, Kevin, good call there. I mean, we'll wait to see what's going to happen, but it looks like for now, temporarily, we do have a southbound or a northbound move in the market, which is creating NVIDIA to the top side here. I may average in a little bit, but like I said, if this market blows up here, you do not want to be caught with your pants down. So we're going to wait to see here on NVIDIA. I'm still using that. Not going to average into this one. It's such a beast.
John, I'm hitting NVIDIA. The fail for myself there. We just got the breakthrough of 18, and we're talking about that in crude oil. Oxy takes out the top. So you try the retracement short. It's not going to work out here. I think you have to have a stop at that level. You can't fight that market too much. As Whiting makes the move to the upside, I reverse from going long those names in XOM, which was good, Whiting, which was even better for me, my top 2 stocks on the session, and then I always take a shot in Occidental to the short side when we had a good level. I think the risk reward was good, but you just can't fight this trend too hard. You took one shot. I'll maybe revisit it a little bit later, but it looks like a done deal that we're headed in a very, very fantastic trend. 31% in crude oil on the session. It's been a fantastic move. We captured some of it. Probably should have held on to some of those longs.
Yeah, always. Damn it, there's always, when these markets start to move, we always have some kind of regret here because, the market is what it is, and we just trade the price action. Okay, this is Disney I'm trying to look at here, charts, here we go. Disney, for some reason, still just flat on the day, so Disney relatively weak. We are going to break down here. We were looking at that 100 level earlier, and once we broke that, you go right to 102, but now as the market's starting to fall down a little bit here, as is Disney, and as is NVIDIA, and ho-hum, there's a nice little dollar winner there on NVIDIA. So we say, is 70 cents on NVIDIA. We get out there 20s, so we're going to wait to see here as it comes back down. NVIDIA, we look at this crashing down on that futures move. So making a little bit of that money back there on NVIDIA that we've given up on some of the longs previously. So here we go, short sell in at 89, out at 38 there. 50-cent winner there on NVIDIA. We only took out of 20%. We're going to wait to see if we can't get more action to the downside with this name NVIDIA, guys. And Brennan, what you got?
Interesting to see some of these energy names kind of popping up as if overall market is coming back to the downside. Gran Tierra Energy here, 13%, just had a huge volume spike as well. Little teeny tiny penny stock doing all kinds of volume today as well, guys.
Yeah, you know what? I was going to answer the question in the chat. I'm going to give it to you right here, Tom. When you're playing pullbacks, you've got to have defined levels. That's what's going to give you confidence. And certainly in terms of these plays that you're making, which can be counter trend. Now, someone asked about Smile Direct. I'm usually only looking at Smile Direct for longer term, for a bigger trade, not necessarily going to be scalping it the way that it's been behaving lately, especially off of this bottom. I think it's got some potential to the upside. So when I take this long on the way up here, I am structuring to make sure I get a price around 6. I already know below VWAP is my out. So I've already decided I'm risking 10 to 15 pennies on this one. So when I see it slide back against me, if I have room to add, I'm doing it. If I don't, then I'm not going to do so. I'm just going to hang in there. I've got my stop ready to go, and I'm looking for a bigger breakout through the high of the day. So I can kind of put that one to my aside and monitor the trade as long as I have a good stop order in there. That's what gives you the confidence to do it. But that's what it's all about. Follow your plan if you can do that. And what we're going to do right now is take a minute to jump to Valeria and In Focus.
Hey guys, welcome to In Focus. Some quick news updates in case you've missed. Delta Airlines CEO says it could take 2 to 3 years for business to recover from coronavirus pandemic. Delta reported a net loss of $534 million in the first quarter. Sales in the second quarter most likely will be 90% lower than expected. Mike Bloomberg, the billionaire and former mayor of New York City, will help the state to develop and implement program to test people for coronavirus. The program will also trace those people who have had contact with infected individuals. World Meteorological Organization says that coronavirus pandemic could drive carbon emission down 6% this year. This would be the biggest yearly drop since World War II. SpaceX successfully launched and deployed 60 satellites, Starlink satellites, into orbit. The company is hoping eventually to provide internet coverage from space. That's all for today. Stay healthy and stay in focus. Back to guys.
Thank you, Valeria. Yeah, good little look there. SpaceX. Let's check out SpaceX and see what's going on exactly. Just an update on NVIDIA, guys. This is why you got to take some out at least down there for a nice little 50-cent winner, because now it's 50 cents against us. So we're going to have to wait on NVIDIA here. You can see the market, though. We did get to that level that I talked about, 28.25, but we bounced pretty hard off that one. I mean, not hard, but it's straight up here, 3 or 4 handles. I hate when the market is in these little zones here, right? Like, I mean, look at this. Since we've taken to the top, it's about 10 handles. We've bounced up and down here, up to 28.36, back down to 28.25, and now we're starting to head back northbound again. So I wonder if this is a key little spot here that we need to take out in the S&P. What we're looking at here is the S&P 500, 28.25. This line goes all the way down. If we can crack that one, then maybe we have some downside moves, but I hate playing against the market. So we are going to watch this NVIDIA trade trying to come off here if it does get above 291.25. So a lot of action still. We still have 50 cents more to go to the top top side, but 20% out down here for that 50-cent winner. I don't want to lose that $1.25 on 80%, but hey guys, this is what happens here. It is the time of the day. We do have Jeff Mendel coming from OTC Markets. We've talked a little bit about Bitcoin today, and we'll talk more about that with him. A few other names, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac on the look there. I don't think they're doing much volume today, but we will check in with Jeff when he comes through on the OTC Markets, formerly known, and I guess on the street known as pink sheets, but we like to call them OTC, so that's their name. Let's go with Jeff Mendel coming at 11:45 VP, guys.
Yeah, you're still seeing a bit of a move to the upside in oil. It's still holding above that 18 even mark, but you are seeing a pullback in whiting finally. And I talked about just this in the chat just now. A big slide down here off of 240. It was a great breakthrough, 2 even, actually. I'm looking for it to consolidate at any point here. And if we get anything holding below, say, 220, I'm going to jump in here and for the first time of the day, actually test a short position in whiting. You see it go absolutely ballistic here, 126 million shares. If I show you the level too, you can get an aneurysm trying to watch that. So, don't stare at it too long. Brendan, what do you got for us?
Just watching some of the chip makers. Guys, Micron here up to 1.3%. We're back to this level, 44.50. It's been here once, twice. This is the third time up here. Testing day highs, very, very strong across the group yesterday. We're trying to get back into new high territory for Micron at this point, guys.
Yeah, and that's going to be a hurt bag for NVIDIA right now because as the sector goes up and as the futures go up, NVIDIA is one of the big daddies there in the semis. So we look for that to get blown out through 291.25. Although, if the futures are going to bounce around, this isn't a horrible spot to average in. I think I'll try to get a little bit more. I'll probably try to get this 20% back somewhere up here, 291 and change. But we are very, very close at any time from ticking above. We almost got wicked out right there when it ticked up there. So we are going to wait to see if the futures do come back down for that NVIDIA play. But good look there. Thanks for pointing out Micron. The whole sector here running, and probably also including AMD is one of the favorite stocks for me to trade in this name. And we're bouncing right around VWAP as well. So let's wait to see on these semis. SMH, the ETF, if you like the ETF game, guys.
Yeah, whiting just a testing 2 even. They're massive, massive bid. I'm not even sure the size that I saw down there. I took a shot here, and I sort of mentioned looking for any consolidation. It's between 2 and about 210 right now. I'll give this one maybe to 215 or so. I don't want to dig in too deeply. Obviously, we had such a fantastic long. You don't want to give away all of your profits, but it's hard for me to look at this opportunity here and not try at least one retracement play. It's been a setup that's worked for me in the past. Brendan, what do you have, bud?
Another one having a good day, guys. QD, little Chinese fintech here, 175. Just broke the top of the day there, 170 on decent volume. Overall, a little bit lightly traded today, but 9.5% is 9.5% for QD, guys.
Yeah, that's a good little percentage spot there for QD. What is Netflix doing? Netflix 430 in change, a nice little downward look here. NFLX, I'm still trying to get some more NVIDIA short, but why not? Let's check back on Netflix here. This is a nice little level look. This is VWAP. It's bounced off a couple times. I will not take a VWAP break here of 431.80. I would much rather play this break of 430.80. So 430.80 on the downside here. If Netflix pulls back down, I do like this short for a retracement back down. So Netflix staying away from VWAP, because if I take this trade, I'll probably get short somewhere around 431.50, and then we could bounce. So I'd rather take this than use VWAP as my out. So Netflix 430.80 break to the short side. Look, it's still a little ways away. We're still $2 away from this one, but as you know, guys, Netflix can move the high of the day, 435. If you're looking long on Netflix, yeah, take it now, then use 431 as your out, but I'm gonna wait for 430.80 to break.
Yeah, you guys are asking what position I like. I was actually trying to get a price more in the 05 range, and really, ideally, it would be something like 7 or 8 here when you're playing $2 to 215, that sort of consolidation area and the pullback. The thing is, I don't want to risk more than 10 to 12, maybe 15 cents max. You're still counter trend here. As much as it pulled back on whiting, it's not as if you got a 56% short float. It's a squeeze to the upside. You got to be careful how you structure that. There's a big bid at 2 even. The good thing about that big bid, however, if it gets taken out, it gives you some juice to the downside to counteract that squeeze action that we're seeing. So you always have to consider the counterparties that you're trading against. But having one already, both of us to the upside, you don't want to throw away too much of that profit fighting this thing. However, it is worth a shot. It's a setup I like. I think you can get back to 180 or at least that 175 mark, certainly on a flush through 2 even. I do have 204. Ideally, I would have had a better average price, something in the 7 or 8 range, as I mentioned.
Okay, so I'm still waiting for this NVIDIA to do something here. We can put on, okay, let's just put on a different look here to give you guys something else here. I only have 2 small positions. Well, my NVIDIA one is a big position here. We'll put them up, guys. 289.80. That's the short on NVIDIA. We've been talking about that. We've already taken out 50-cent winner, but we're now holding that against us 50 cents. Okay, there you go. And our Snapchat is flat right now, but that's very small. I'm looking to get back into Snapchat, but it has to take out to 1670, which is the high of the day. If you come check out this chart here, we've gotten some out of Snapchat already, but yeah, right now we're just holding very, very small, waiting to see what it does around this VWAP. But look at this. It's been very, very choppy, not doing anything. I knew Snapchat would give some back today. That's why we go short here and then cash in. This was a monster trade for us. Took this in the pre-market, 1660, all the way down here to 1620. This is the low. I have the low ticks all over the place here on Snapchat, so it's been a nice little win. And finally, guys, NVIDIA crashing back down here a little bit. I did try to get some 290s. We're going to wait to see it's back down almost into the money here as we go short NVIDIA, and let's see if we can't capture some profits. I'll probably put a bid at 250 here, capture 30 cents, and then let the rest ride to the downside. What's up, Brandon?
Another one that might be a little bit top heavy at this point. Core Laboratories here. CLB up 15% on the day. $15 just ahead of us here. It rejected up there already on huge volume, so might be done on this one. Earnings reported aftermarket yesterday were obviously better than expected, but CLB also got a couple of upgrades today, but getting up to extended territory, I feel, guys.
Yeah, definitely a good look there. I'm seeing a couple of things in the chat worth noting, guys. Remember, we do have Adam and Kevin are dropping some hints in there, answering your questions. Do pay attention to everything you hear from those guys. A lot of experience. I did get closer to the price that I like here. We got about 05s on this Whiting short. Like I said, not ideal, but it is what it is. There is a 2-even break. You're looking to take some profit off here, but here's the volume. It's like a psychedelic here trying to watch the level 2, which I'm not really going to do because it's moving rather rapidly. You want to see it sustain below 2 even, then look for a secondary flush. I talked about 175 to 180 being an overall target, but it's got to really start to go. That short interest is working against you a little bit here, so you're looking for a bigger move. Initially, at least 10%, or it's just not going to be worth it. I got 205s. I want to start getting some out if it gets down to that 180 mark.
Yeah, 205, 180, 193, a good look there. WLL on that last little tick there. Great trading on this one. I don't know why. I've been too sidetracked with other things, but WLL, that's that first trade at 120. Wow. All the way to 240. This is that bottom wick I'm talking about here, 193. That's not a horrible spot to get short if you did want that one, but yeah, up to $2, 206. Guess what, guys? 2 weeks ago, this thing was 25 cents. So welcome to 10 times your money. If you still are in this one, get the hell out. Would be my advice if you're long at 25 cents. But okay here, 220, look to blow that off the top as well if it does take 220 again on Whiting. But I'll leave this one to Neil. He's been talking about this one today. So let's just check back on Facebook, 185.30. I can't execute any trades in these levels, guys. We're bouncing around. Nothing is happening. Here's the ES. I drew this to say, like, we need to get out of this range. We are not. We are dead stuck in the middle of this range. So all of our trades right now, a little bit sleepy. Needless to say, we have a sleepy thing on here. I'll hit it. The market right now, in my opinion, although the show is fun and we're finding some trades for you, including WLL, I think that's a good call by Neil. That's where you got to go. You got to go to stocks that are moving. I can't just keep looking at these big caps and staring them in the face because really nothing's happening over here. So I'm going to find some more stocks that are moving around and we'll go have a look, including, I mean, Netflix isn't even moving. JP Morgan, we've already destroyed today. Maybe Macy's for a look here, Macy's.ny, 11 million shares, but again, we've already broken out through that level. GP.
Oh, wow, Sean, it was like Mayweather versus, I don't know, whoever you want to call it. You can call any of the Floyd's great fights, but somebody put a fantastic defense at 2 even. They weren't as good as Floyd because it just broke downside. So somebody tried to buy that one up there, and I was sitting there just only watching Whiting here, and there was a big battle at 2 even. It tested 1-2 times. I actually am going to take some shares off for a 15-cent win there because it was just so much buy action. I guess there's some shorts to be covered there that I can't stare that gift horse in the mouth. This was the short that we're waiting for. It's hard to go counter trend, but if you have a structure, you can be rewarded from it. I'm glad we gave this one to you guys. Brendan, what do you have for us?
Another little one, guys. We were mentioning this one in the pre-market this morning. ENZ in New York was up significantly. Right back to this support area. 250 here has been support all morning long. So if the market is going to come off a little bit, this one might be worth a fade at some point. ENZ, guys.
ENZ, okay. We are getting, again, faded again on NVIDIA because once again, the market is starting to go back upside and we're still in this short. Looking to average in, we do have an offer here, 290.08 or so. I think this is probably a good spot to get short right now if we're going to average back into that 20% spot. I'm still using this as our out up here, 291.25 or so as our out coming on NVIDIA. So we'll wait to see that when we do bounce up to 291. This is a good spot to average in and get more short here on that name. But we'll wait to see on that one as WOL, I guess, still crashing down, guys.
Yeah, you know what? As good as that trade was in Whiting, you know what? I got to get over these random trades. You stick to the stocks that are good. I had a great read on Whiting all day long. And I'm going to just WTF right there on Twitter. We're going to get out of 28.50. Forget about the relative weakness there. The weakness is in Whiting coming all the way back down here. I talked about that 175 area. It looks like we're going to get some shares out here. On a break of 175, took 174s out. Average price was 205 there, able to catch a fantastic retracement. Look, I get it. This is not the easiest trade to put on, but you have to have a stop level. If it takes out 215, I'm going to be out of there. I'm going to give away some of my day on that long side. But these retracements are worth it. That's why you see me test them out, because you take a couple of small cuts, but then when you hit the home run, it's going to be worth it. Just have to have a risk structure, guys. Brendan, what do you got?
Another one looking very similar here. Chesapeake also giving you the same kind of idea. This was actually halted on that first initial swipe to the downside, 28.70. We're all the way down to 27 even now for CHK, guys.
Chesapeake. Okay, that's another one there to go. We did get our little average in there on NVIDIA. So, yeah, now we're going to be in a little bit of trouble. But, yeah, if it does break, I mean, we're not trouble. It's just that's going to be our out. We're very, very close to that one. So, futures, if you could come down here, that would be nice for me. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the show today. Hit that like button, but more importantly, hit that subscribe button. We can't talk about how important that is for us. Make sure that you subscribe to the show here so we can keep putting you through these, ideas, some little bit of education spots here as well. Valeria's hit the nail on the head with some of those calls here. We have more to come for you guys, but we need those subscriptions to keep going. The show is free, so let us know how you do like it in the chat. But I think it's been a great addition today with Kevin and Adam there in the chat. So a couple traders that we have with us on our floor. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for everything you're doing and for answering some of these questions on the chat for our traders, guys. WOL coming back up here though, Neo.
Yeah, you guys, you guys were asking about like VWAP, maybe would you get long? I got some out there at 74, and again, there was a secondary break price. You look at this one through 165, and then it hung out in a 5-cent range before really going at 170. That little sort of target band, or whatever you want to call it, so I'm expecting there to be some support in front of VWAP. You can't just go with one indicator. I think certainly if I find a band of support or resistance that was important before, I'll use that as well. That's why I got out of everything but about 15% here on that short. If it does hold that 2 even mark where there was that little price fight happening earlier, that could be a reload place for the short trade. However, given the interest that it has to the short side, it's going to be difficult for me to get too aggressive. You had a fantastic short on here. I don't want to get too greedy with this one. I feel like we've done pretty well on this stock. I don't want to be giving away too much of that profit. United Airlines, I'm getting a little stubborn with this one and probably a bit of a mistake. It is making a nice range, holding above VWAP and bouncing, and I built a position to about 26.40, which is right here in the middle of the actual high of the day and VWAP. So if it holds 25, we're set up for a breakout. But you got to notice here that we're putting in a lower high on the ES, that's the S&P 500 futures, without breaking 28.40. I don't see any path to success in this trade if we don't get an up move in the future, so that's probably what's going to have to happen here. However, we have a nice trade on. It's 15 to 16 cents worth of risk. We think it can go to 27 ultimately, so we can get at least 2-to-1 if we take out some shares on the way up there. That's a structure for me on UAL. Yeah, I should have a better price at 30 if we did a little bit better earlier on in the session, but we didn't look at it until about 10:30. Should have been watching this one a lot right off the open.
Yeah, I just gave a little bit back there on Whiting. We did go long that 185 sorry, 188 there, break 187 or so. We got some out at 190 or 189, but then got out there on that break back down. So it's just bouncing around. I just don't want to avoid this volume. Like Neil said, we could retrace, guys, back up to this level, $2. I'm just wondering if we get back to this bunch level here. If we do, I do want to be part of it, but it's just bouncing around here 180. So if I do get back long this name, I will hold it until a 180 break, but I'm temporarily long small here at 188. So that's whiting. I like the long. We're going to take a long again if we break back above 190, but I'm just hoping that we can get to 205 if that does break and use 180 as our out, but nothing special here on whiting, guys. I'm just don't want to avoid this volume, that's all.
You know what? I just said in the chat and slap me in the face, somebody. When I'm shorting tech in the last little bit, I just don't have a read on it. It's one of those things, if you find something is happening to you and you don't understand why you're misreading it, you should just sort of step away here. I think that's going to be the play. Shorting tech has not been a fantastic one for me. I jumped into Twitter thinking we had some relative weakness. We didn't. I'm not moving my chart away to show you because I am having trouble getting away from whiting. I thought maybe it would bounce back to that 2 even area for a reload, but it's shy of that at $1.90. So I'm kind of trying to make a decision on what to do here. I'm going to hang on to the shares I have short. I was looking for a place to add, and I don't know that I want to jump the gun, but it's seeming like it could be another level here at $1.90. Brendan, what do you got?
Some of these tankers, guys, moving back to the downside here. NAT in New York, one we were looking at earlier in the week, as being very, very strong. Just about to break to new day lows here. Had a nice move up in the aftermarket yesterday and then gapping higher with oil today. But NAT back to the downside again today, guys.
NAT, okay, guys, look at this NVIDIA trade. We'll just throw some cash down a little bit right now as we are back to in the money. I mean, we've been holding this trade for a while. Look at this short, guys. 291.10. We took that and we just take it out at 289.95. So that's almost about $1.30 or so winner on that trade. But our average price is 290.12. So we're still right here on NVIDIA. I'm still liking this little break. You can see what's happened here in the futures. We are starting to break down a little bit. So I actually was expecting NVIDIA to be even lower than this. So it is relatively strong today. I am waiting in the 50s again. If we can get something out down here, that would be great. But 289, it's a winner right now. Nice little trade happening on NVIDIA, making a lot of this money back. But we're going to wait to see. Okay, here goes whiting, Neil. We're long again.
Yeah, I'm just looking over here for some shorts. We're rolling over in the futures here, and I was just talking about Macy's. I was looking at 495, but I think Gap might have been the better play. It's rolling over here at 720. If it breaks, view up and holds below, I'm probably going to jump back into shorts. Remember, we had that one earlier. I'm scouting over here in whiting at $2 to see what happens at that price. I still have my last entry at 211. It's only 10% of my position, so we're looking at that short very heavily. The other name, you guys are just talking about Netflix there. This one, if we can load on my chart there, thank you very much. Doing the pullback that I was looking for just now in Gap. It's already gone through. It's watching this 430 level. Heck, if this gets taken out and we're really about to head downside, that could be a big time flush, maybe $3 or $4 worth of upside on that trade if you like it. I should have taken off that UAL trade flat, but again, like I mentioned, if you have a risk structure, we're just going to stick to it. I've been long in front of 25, risking 15 to 20 cents or so, and this one looks like it could have its back broken on UAL. So that might not work out, but it hasn't broken yet. Relative strength in that pullback.
Okay, so we are dumping some of our WLL up here, and guys, check out NVIDIA. It does crash down, and your boy, once again, jaw drops that one because that's a good trade there on NVIDIA. We do get short there. Out again. I told you we were waiting in the 50s, 59 or so. I think it was 58, 59 there. A nice little out there, catching another 70-cent winner on that one. We did get in and out of WLL now, so we still are long 191 on this thing. You can see, I mean, this is how crazy I trade, guys. We get in, and then look at all these robot outs here. These are just my hands going nuts here. Our best out is 197. I wanted to see if we get back over $2. So right now we'll wait for this 205 break. We still got a decent amount of shares here on WLL, so we're going to wait to see here. Nice little long 191 as our production team is just having a great time over there. I wonder what's going on with those guys, but good job here. We are getting ready for Jeff Mendel very soon. We're up to 198 here. I'm long 191 on whiting, guys.
Mr. Mendel coming through in just a few minutes, of course, from OTC Markets, like Sean has mentioned. I am looking at gap. I need to see it break below 715. Otherwise, I'd probably be playing this short and waiting for at least a retracement into the 25 range. I do want to jump back into this name. I did have an initial short that I got very, very greedy on. It was earlier on in the session when, I did have a nice winner through VWAP. It was a good scalp trade. And then instead of just sort of being happy with what we had, we then dug in expecting that big rollover here. It did not happen. Thankfully, we got out at our initial entry price at 715 mark, saved ourselves some money, but now it is looking like it's going to set up. Opening range top was 725. That's why I'm interested in that price in particular. We'll see if we can't work into something. The market looks like it wants to slide back to the downside.
Yeah, Neil, we are into, guess what? Your boy is back, guys. Netflix, nice little trade to the downside. I gave you this one. You guys can't say this one wasn't true. 430, I took this one right here. We just get out 430.19 or so off of a 430.87. So right now, this is a big trade here on Netflix. Come on, Netflix. Let's go to the downside here as we pop in some wheelies, breaking through 430. This is that trade that we gave you guys, a 430.80 break. We get out 430.12 there. This was just a little bit of a keystroke error there, but now Netflix to the downside, 430. If we can break that, hallelujah. Okay, NVIDIA doesn't want to go there the same way Netflix does, so we will regroup on this trade. But here goes NVIDIA. So NVIDIA 65 cents in the money. Sorry, Netflix 65 cents in the money. NVIDIA 20 cents in the money. Whiting still up here, 197. We just took some out 198. But right now I got to attend to some of these positions. Netflix to the downside. Let's see if we can't make this dream happen. All the way back down, Netflix and chill, 428.50. That's going to be my target. Let's see if we can't take a clean $2 off this one, and we'll wait to see about NVIDIA. Not sure why this one's not tanking, guys. We may take some of this off. We're flat on this one right now. NVIDIA for the win, though. Let's see.
I just jumped into some shares in GPS. That's gap, of course, at 718. I am looking to build that position between this and about that 730 mark on this little rollover in the futures. I did jump back into Whiting here in that pullback. And again, it's just consolidating below that 2 even mark. I'm not going to give this one to 215. I'll give it a tight stop on these shares till only this 2 even. If it can hold it, fantastic. I don't want to roll too heavily into this further short. It was a big bounce back. We're very fortunate to have been able to get bottom wick on this trade when we got out. Again, we did have a bit of a target. That's the reason. So short in Whiting again, short in gap as well. But it is time for our European close with Valeria.
Hey guys, welcome to the European close. Europe closed in a positive territory. Britain is up 1.01%. Germany is up 1.45%. France is up 1.34%. Spain is up 0.85%. And Russia is up 1.68%. Well, Europe is closed positive, and that's all for today. Stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll be back. Back to guys.
All right.
Thank you very much, Valeria. Getting a bit of a rollover here in Whiting again, and like I talked about here, we just added some more shares at 95 and 98. Of course, we still had some shares from 211. It's the 211s that I just took out there at 191, so about 20 cents on those. Going to hang on to this short again. You're sort of seeing a lower high being put in. I think we're going to have some trouble maybe chopping through that $1.70 price, but I'd like to see us get down there, and I will hang on to some shares in case it does. The second move, I never anticipate being as good as the first when you have a big win on there. So you're probably going to see me take off some shares in front of 180 as well. I'm liking this trade. Whiting we have a good read on. It hasn't been the fantastic one on Twitter or some of the trades that we've tried to hang on to a little bit longer, whether that was UAL or Smile Direct. It's been more these in and out fast moving stocks which have worked out better for us. So Whiting going to stay all over that one. Gap, I'm going to get back to this. This is the short that we just put on. I do like this rollover. I do think that there's a potential maybe to turn through VWAP here when we do get some acceleration. The market had so much trouble at a key level. Thank you, and a shout out to Kevin on the chat there for reminding us about 2840 on the ES. That's the S&P 500 futures. If we get a flush here that drops back down to those levels at 2,800, I do love gap to the south side. We already have some at 18. I'd love to add to this one in the 20 to 30 range. That's going to be our stop at 730. Sorry.
And guys, here it is right now. I mean, NVIDIA, guys, for the win. That was an absolutely great one here. It was a little bit of a sweat job there on NVIDIA, but you can see, guys, yeah, thanks for that graphic. I've never used that before. You can see this, guys. What a great trade NVIDIA's turned out to be. We did have to sweat this one one a little bit here. But now we go right back to our day's high for us. We're just killing this market here today once again. Look at this. Here comes NVIDIA. Let's go, baby. Push a little bit further here. We're waiting for this 288.50. We are still short NVIDIA right now, guys. Our price in NVIDIA is 291.08. 291.08, guys. $1.50 now in the money on NVIDIA. That's this reload up here that we took. So nice little trade happening right there. We are getting ready to have Jeff Mendel from OTC Markets come through, hopefully. That comes through soon. Our Netflix trade, yeah, we've already taken that 70 cents on that one. I'm hoping this breaks down with the market as well. My out, though, is going to be kind of right before VWAP up here. 231.50 or so will be our out on Netflix, but we are short this one. 230, 430. We are short 430.70 right here. But here goes NVIDIA to the downside, guys. A nice little $1.70 winner off this beautiful reload. No losers taken, guys. This is our first spot. We get out for flat on that one, and then bang, bang, bang. Nice little trade on NVIDIA. Love the way this one got structured out, Neil.
Blast from the past here. I talked about IMMU and, of course, missing that 29 break off the open. And what I told you guys was after that, look for it to make a base. It has double, triple bottom here, whatever you want to call it, at 26.70 or so. And then you see it move to the upside, make a higher low at 27 even. This is a trade that I like to put on at about this time of day. You're just looking for a VWAP retracement, whether it's short retracements. This one will be a long. And I like this one around the 27 even mark. I think you either give it to the actual bottom of 26.65. If you take it here, which I'm not going to, you want to use that stop at 27 even. I want to build an average price closer to 27 and then look to use the low of the day as an out. It's up 24% on the day. The market is trying to hold what was a bit of a pivot at 28.20. That's over on the ES, and the NASDAQ holding 87.40 right now. So I like this play on IMMU to the upside. We'll see if we can't build that position around an average price of 27 with the low of the day as our stop.
Yeah, just tweeting this out, guys, on NVIDIA with a little bit of an explanation here. So follow us for sure, guys, all over Twitter. Make sure you follow myself, Neil, and Brendan. I'm posting as we speak. So there you go. WLL, I still have that one. I know Neil's doing the short. I love the short as well on WLL. It's just both of us going back in and out of this name. You cannot avoid a name that's 161 million shares like I had been doing. Look at this. I basically let it go through all of this. And then when Neil, I got FOMO there. If anybody knows what FOMO stands for, put that in the chat.
I'm sure they do.
You may or may not win anything. But here we go, 191 to the top side. I still think we can get back to $2, but these are great reloads on the short for sure. Whiting, the short squeeze has already happened, but I'm long 191 in waiting. NVIDIA is still working out for us, guys, to the downside, though, as the market trying to come back up. Right now, but I still think we can get NVIDIA down here to 288.50, guys. That's my target for NVIDIA, 288.50. That means I'll probably put an order around 288.80 or so. Get out of that one, just shy of my target spot.
Yeah, and lots of volume on Whiting, and that's what Sean's talking about. You just simply, it's hard to get away from 161 million shares worth of volume when you're day trading here. So that's what we're looking at. I keep looking over at this UAL, and I'll go back to this name once again. Sometimes you have a level here, and I was talking about 26, 25 basically all morning long, and it's bounced one time, two times. It's holding this line pretty well. So I think if we get that upward move in the futures, we're positioned probably better than we were in Smile Direct. So that's probably the only thing we got left in here. I do have that Whiting position. I am not adding to this short, you guys. I already dug in one time in front of that 2 even mark. You are seeing it level off. It either flushes here into VWAP, or I'm going to get stopped out at 2. I do have a 196 half short on right now. So I will take some out in between this price and VWAP, and then look to see if you can't run it lower. But I'm not going to fight this one too heavily. We've done so well on this name. It is starting to slow down just a little bit here. Hey, thank you very much there, Christian, for the super chat. We're doing this for free because we love it, and we want you guys to be involved in our community, trading community. It's a fantastic thing for us. And welcome and thank you to Kevin and Adam jumping into that chat. And as I say it, Whiting punches through 2 even. There it is. That's our first losing trade of the day. We lost 4.5 cents on Whiting. Yeah, no, 4.5 cents, that's no problem considering some of these runs. But here we go, guys. I'm going to pop a wheelie, and it's not because Neil and I are against each other. We talked about the size here, but I just want to give you guys a call. I was telling you we were going to get back, not going to, but we had a chance, obviously. That's why Neil got out at 2. Great call there. Back over to 207. My last out there, 204. We are long 191 now on Whiting. So this is a 13 penny winner once again on WLL. We got out a lot up here.
here. Again, when you have a lot of shares, you tend to take this, but here we go. Nice little win there as it gets a little psychedelic for us here on WLL. Nice move to the top side now. A good win for this. Again, this is 18 cents now in the money. I've been taking some out. This is the resistance spot. Let's take a little more out and then hold very light as bye-bye. Here goes NVIDIA. If we can break 289 here, maybe I get my target. This is a pretty sweet, guys, $2 winner. So hopefully you hammered this with us. We just tweeted out NVIDIA and why we liked it. So here we go. NVIDIA now to the downside. Nice little winner happening there. WLL. Look at this, guys. That's why you cash some out here at 204. Right back down. What a great call. I told you that we'd maybe have some resistance up here, and that's exactly what we did. Hopefully you guys can throw the cash around with us on this name today.
Yeah, I'm looking at gap here, and the market continues to slide to the downside. Gives me more of an entry in my target range between that 730 mark and VWAP here. So going to go ahead and add to it. Our price now 19. So I like a price in the mid end of the range. That's what we've got on. The market continuing to slide here. I'm looking at the NQ at 87.25 and heading towards that 2800 mark. We're not there yet. 28.17 on the ES. What a turnaround from 28.40. Shout out to Kevin. What a great call that was. Hopefully you rolled over into some shorts when that happened. For me, I'm late to the party on gap, but we are involved in this name to the short side. That's what we have on. Still have that UAL, which is holding up at 26.25 for the time being at least. But I'm also not going to get too far away from Whiting. I just mentioned in the chat there, if it's going to break this 2 even and immediately fail, it never even got to our original short stop at 215, maybe some more weakness involved. We're going to have a quick look at this one. Consolidation below 2 even is probably what you're hoping for here. You still could get a VWAP retracement. I don't think we're done with this one yet by a long shot. It's worth mentioning, though, I think that 170 where we turned around and got out before, that's looking like a strong level. I'd love to see it test that again so we can get an idea of what the afternoon's going to tell us.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, Chesapeake. Yeah, I mean, we know about Chesapeake. We'll talk about that one as well. Hard to get credit around here, but look at this, guys. 28.25. We drew that line right there. Great call by Kevin Neal. Keeps bringing that up. 28.40, great call. Here's 28.25. That's a call too. And if you are short, guys, NVIDIA, it did go down to that $2 spot. We were waiting for 288.75. Look where it goes down to, guys. 288.84. There. So we'll take this out very soon. It's a $2 winner. That's a cash money spot. Here's Netflix as well. It's just bouncing around. This name doesn't really move too much right now. I'm not really sure why. The futures are crashing down here. So I do expect Netflix hopefully to break this 429.80 spot there. So if that can break, that would be a good one as well. But as you guys can see, right back down to the futures level. We do have some bunching up here. 28.10's been key for a while. I don't know if we get there. It looks like we may be starting to reverse a little bit, but nice little move down. You guys should maybe start to think about cashing in a little bit if you are short with me, especially on NVIDIA. It is resisting this 289 level here. So I don't know. Am I getting a little too greedy waiting for 25 more cents? We're already $2 in the money. So I think we'll get out of some NVIDIA right here, guys. You know what? Maybe I'll put a stop, 289.50. Let's put a stop at NVIDIA, 289.50. But one of our favorite guests, and we will talk about it all day here. We've teased it a little bit. Traded some GBTC today. I'm sure that's what he wants to talk about. Let's hear from Jeff Mendel right now, guys.
Hey guys, yeah, thanks. Really happy to have our good friend Jeff Mendel back from OTC Markets to discuss all things OTC Markets on this Thursday. A busy day, to say the least. We were talking about Bitcoin quite frequently throughout the show. First off, good to see you, Jeff. Welcome back to the show. That is quite the background you have chosen for today. Loving the green couch behind you. Is that your living room by chance?
Oh, this would be the OTC Markets reception area.
Oh, there you go.
Actually.
Perfect.
And so interesting side story. To get that green couch into our new office last year around this time, we had to split it into 3 different pieces.
Wow.
And tie it to the bottom of the elevator shaft. And hoist it up.
That's a great couch. Great story as well. Good to have you back. I mean, lots to talk about when it comes to OTC markets. Let's first off talk about Luckin Coffee. Interesting story that continues. Nothing has changed. Obviously, the saga continuing when it comes to LK. Way back on April 6th, this thing halted mid-morning. We talked about it live on the show. There was all kind of misconduct, financial issues with Luckin Coffee. Any rumors about LK being moved to the pink sheets?
Obviously, I mean, we have just about the same amount of insight as everyone else does right now. We're seeing some reports. We're not totally sure what's going on right now with the stock, but we do have our eligibility standards, of course, for the over-the-counter marketplace as well too. And so we have our two tiers, QX and QB. And then also symbols trade under the pink, right? Which is kind of we really don't have a marketplace for that, except they do trade on our platform, right? And so some of the things for, let's say, a Luckin were to come off NASDAQ, they would still have to maintain their listing on a qualified foreign exchange or be an SEC reporting company, right? They also, in their case, they would be under our QX International because they're incorporated outside of the country. A couple other things, too, that they would have to maintain. They can't be a shell company or a blank check company, which obviously they are not. They also can't be subject to bankruptcy or any reorganization proceedings, too. Can't be a penny stock. They also have to have a quote by a market maker as well, too. So, as things kind of unfold with Luckin, they may not qualify for one of those, just as they don't qualify, or they may not qualify for a listed exchange as well, too. So, as I said, we're keeping an eye on it as well. If they go into bankruptcy, they'll still trade down on our platform, but they won't have our QX rating.
Yeah, lots to, obviously an ongoing saga, as we mentioned, but lots to kind of unfold there when it comes to what is going to happen with Luckin. Numerous lawsuits still outstanding. I was just reading about a few of them there. Class action lawsuits right across the board for Luckin, but good information there. We'll, I guess, check back in on Luckin over the next coming weeks and months to see how things go. As a general rule, maybe let's talk about delisted stocks coming off of, you mentioned a few of the criteria there already, but delisted stocks coming off of the major exchanges going to OTC. How does that transition actually work?
So it all starts when the company goes public in the first place. We take all of the corporate action feeds from the major exchanges, and we actually enter them into our system. So our system and our database is ready at any given time to take on one of those names if they become delisted. Typically, there is some buzz or there is some notice, right? So you'll have a few days. Market makers will get ready, which is great because they can prepare to make an orderly market in these names. But what happens is, so let's say a company announces that they're going to delist, and they're going to delist on a certain date. So in the over-the-counter marketplace, in order for a company to freely trade, they need to be piggyback qualified, and that means that a market maker must consistently quote in that name for X amount of days. And so if it's coming off of the big board or off of a listed exchange, what happens is they're automatically qualified for that piggyback exemption. That means that any market maker can come in and put up a two-sided quote, or OTCX, our own venue, can come in and put up a two-sided quote in that name. And so that makes it so the day of, right, when it actually happens, the first day of trading over the counter, it's there, available, ready for an investor to buy or sell that name. So it's pretty much a seamless process.
Great stuff. A lot of people wondering what that transition is like when it comes to both timeframes and also the mechanics that happen behind the scene. When it comes to today, let's talk a little bit about what's going on over at OTC today. Obviously, we saw that kind of breakout of that consolidation area in Bitcoin that's happening today, back above, I guess it was 7,500 on the day. So how are things as far as movers over at GBTC, one of them?
Yeah, we're back above $8 right now in GBTC. It's up almost 9%. Lots of share volume, lots of trading, lots of activity. Also you need to check out the Ethereum Trust as well too. It's ETHE, which is another Grayscale product, which is the makers of GBTC. Not as tight of a marketplace, but also just something to keep an eye on, right? And then outside of Bitcoin, we still have our regular movers, which is Tencent and RHHBY. And then a couple sub-dollar names, if there's anyone out there that actually likes to trade those penny stocks. There's DECN. It's down to about 30 cents. It's just down 16%. Another one that I saw come up, let me bring the list back up. PCTL, lots of trading action in that as well too, and that's up about 7%. So I know not everyone trades the penny names, but they are available in this marketplace. So two to keep an eye on, like I said, DECN and PCTL. So that's a little bit of a mix-up from what we normally talk about, the GBTCs, the 10 cents, and the Fannie Maes. But they are here to trade. Yeah,
all kinds of opportunities galore all over the place today. As far as going forward, maybe throughout the next few weeks and months, Jeff, obviously, with everyone working remotely, it's been difficult to kind of talk about things that are coming up in the future. But anything planned as far as OTC is concerned with new order types or fee structure or anything coming up in the future you want to mention today?
So we'll start with a fee structure. So actually a couple weeks ago at the beginning of April, for any of the Day Trade the World traders that are listening right now, you're actually receiving now the highest rebate market tier that we have in place for OTCX. So what that means is an even higher incentive to post liquidity at the inside of the bid or the ask. And it's been working relatively smooth. We've definitely seen even more activity coming from the Day Trade the World platform. So hopefully we can continue to see that increase. On the actual order type, we have the midpoint in place. We're still trying to get it to the Day Trade the World traders. But for anyone else that's listening out there, you may already have access to it through your broker. The midpoint, it's the only of its kind in this marketplace, in the over-the-counter marketplace, right? It makes it so if there's a spread of a couple cents or 25 cents or however big it may be, just like in listed name, you can access that liquidity at the midpoint. We have a decent amount of people using it right now, and I think it's only going to grow from here, right? Because we knew that people wanted it, and we've been hearing it for the past couple of years. Where's the midpoint order? Where's the midpoint order? And we're able to actually roll it out. And like I said, lots of buzz, and it's a great product, and it's still in its early stages.
And Jeff, when it comes to the fee, when it comes to the fee structure there, just real quick, is there price restrictions on that? We mentioned a couple of penny stocks. Does the rebate apply for under sub-dollar names?
Good thing you brought that up, actually. So that is for above dollar names, right? Which is most of the names that at Day Trade the World, which most of the names that you trade, right? So GBTC and Tencent, right? Those are the names where you can get the rebate for adding that liquidity on the bid or the offer. Below $1, it is free to post, right? So there's no fee from us. Obviously, your broker is going to have to add something there, right, for connecting to us. But below $1, it's free, and that's really the best that we can do. It's for clearing purposes and everything like that.
Great stuff, Jeff Mendel, VP over at OTC Markets. Always great information. Always a pleasure, sir. We'll check back in with you next week.
Oh, great! Thanks for having me. And next week I'll have another order type to announce to the world.
Awesome. We always love those. There we go, guys. Jeff Mendel, our good friend over at OTC Markets, telling you a little bit about what's going on today over at OTC. Yeah, Bitcoin still kind of pushing higher throughout the entire session today. Let's go back to the guys.
Yeah, fantastic guest there. I know Sean trades some GPTC there, so ask some questions about OTC if you have them. All the expertise is there. I was actually just talking a little bit to Kevin on the side there. We have Kevin and Adam. We've been participating in the chat. Sean, Brennan, and I are all active, and we do our best, but pay attention to what they're saying and use them for their expertise. I see questions about Forex. I see questions about gold. Not necessarily my expertise there, but Kevin has a lot of experience trading and he can certainly help you out with that. So that's what we're trying to do. This is all about you guys, getting you the information that you want. With not that much time to go, I'm just going to recap what I've got going on here. I got the gap short here at 21, stop at 30. Now that might not work out for us as the market slides back to the upside. I think we've got UAL pegged. It doesn't mean we're going to have a home run trade, but it does mean we have a good level of 26.25 that we've worked off of here. I got my price to 41 on the long side. We'll give that one about 15 to 20 cents. I said I'd trim a little bit of that position in front of that high of the day, just because if we roll over, and again, the market has been bouncing down off that 28.40, I just want 25% less of that long. However, we get a break through the top. Target is still 27. If we get a nice upward trend in the market, I think we can still hit that. So long in UAL, short over there in GPS. Sean, what are you looking at?
Yeah, basically I'm not looking at much right now. The show is over basically, guys. Thank you to everybody for joining us today. It's 12 o'clock, so great job there with Jeff Mendel. But look at the market starting to come back. It touches down that 28.15. Now we're going to see what it can do to the north side here. But yeah, we're out of everything. We got out of our NVIDIA, our Netflix, and now we just run to the top side. Let's see what happens here. Brendan, take it away, bud.
Yeah, about that time, guys. Let's have a look at what's coming up after market tonight and before the open tomorrow as far as earnings are concerned. Still lots to get to on the earnings front in the next couple of days. In fact, guys, have a look at that board.
Wow.
Well, yesterday was crazier.
Yeah, about that board. Yeah. Intel maybe, Neil?
Oh, yeah, Intel for sure.
We like Intel on there. Probably the most volume maybe tomorrow out of all of those names look to be Intel for me. Verizon's there, not a huge mover. Sanofi maybe, E-Trade. Yeah, there's a lot. Oh, AXP, I didn't even see in the middle there.
I'm not saying we're going to trade it, but a shout out to WWE is going to be on there. I don't know that we'll actually trade that name. I actually have never traded it before, but hey, earnings play. We'll see what's going on there. Of course, anything live entertainment-wise or sporting in that category has been getting hit. There could be some action to play, and we'll be looking at that name and all those other ones, including energy space, which has been absolutely fantastic. I do believe we have one more thing to do. Let's kick it to Val.
Dear viewers, thank you very much for joining us today, for all of your likes and subscriptions. Hopefully we've been helpful and entertaining as we're doing that for you, and hopefully you enjoyed 3 hours of trading with us. You know, guys, you could support us with your subscriptions. Our biggest goal for now is to reach 10,000 of subscribers. Hopefully we can do it before the end of this week. If you didn't subscribe yet, go hit the subscribe button now. We're live every day and you'll receive notifications when we're back on air. And guys, today is a very sweet and tasty national day. Today is a National Cherry Cheesecake Day. My favorite is blueberry cheesecake though. What about you guys?
There isn't an incorrect answer when it comes to cheesecake. I don't even have a preference. Actually, I'm open to almost any kind of topping, and I'll try almost any kind of cheesecake. I'm sure you could come up with something that I wouldn't like, but cherry is perfectly fine. I wish we were having it today.
Yeah, that one right there looks pretty good in that picture, to be honest. Chocolate, maybe? Chocolate cheesecake as well?
Yes. Yeah, I was going to say, maybe even just plain. I mean, it's pretty rich as it is.
Yeah.
And you throw down that with a little espresso there. So, yes, shout out. Here's a coffee. We'll hit the coffee there. Yeah, look, great show today, Neil. Why don't we wrap this up again? I've already said on the chat, and so have you. Thank you to Kevin and Adam, and thank you to all of our viewers today as well. And thank you to Jeff Mendel for coming through there at 11:45 with some nice little names there, including Bitcoin and ETHE, GBTC, ETHE over there on the pink sheets. If you don't have access to crypto, that's a good way to do it. Probably your broker does allow trading over there on those names. So check those out if you do like some crypto names. Those what's moving right here. The market still, in my opinion, is pretty sleepy here. We're still up 1.21%. Good luck the rest of the day, guys. Follow us all on Twitter. Hit that subscribe button. We're back tomorrow. That's no doubt.
Yeah, and hit that subscribe because we want to get to 10,000, then you guys can get that merchandise that I know you all want. It's been a fantastic day. We're having a lot of fun with it here. Still a lot of the day to go, but we're going to be out of here and back tomorrow. Always tune in at 9 a.m. for that pre-market action and some of these levels, which come become very, very important. Certainly, if you didn't have Whiting off the open, there was lots of opportunities, but it was a great breakout at that 120 that Sean caught. So for the entire team going down the line, Valeria doing a fantastic job as always on the chat, and of course our good friend Sean Katina doing our distancing. There he is. Give a wave. Brendan Wickens, Mr. Professional. Give a wave yourself there. I'm Neil Roberts as always. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is tradertv.live. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya. Professional with the way that I don't know. I don't know even where the cameras are anymore.